Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, August 3rd, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got WWE SummerSlam 2025 New Jersey with some live reactions and a fan chat. Definitely excited to be able to see what we get here on night number 2. And I got the Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers game on as well. A very back and forth matchup. Julio Rodriguez, the first player in MLB history to get 20 home runs, 20 stolen bags in his first 4 seasons. And he just hit career home run number 100 just a few minutes back. So 5-4 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Hopefully we'll be able to hang on. And I'm definitely excited about WWE night number 2 here for SummerSlam. If you guys watched last night, night 1 was a little underwhelming. Obviously, Seth Rollins cashing in with the Money in the Bank on CM Punk after he had the championship won for about 5 minutes. And then we saw that. But I think overall, just while looking at the card, it was a little underwhelming. And again, I feel like yesterday, most people would rate it, somewhere between like a 5 and a 7. Today is going to be a 10. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts really about it. And if you look at the card top to bottom, it's stacked. And I can't wait to be able to see what we get here tonight. I'm hoping the Mariners can get this dub here as well. Usually I don't like missing Mariner games, but the game started at 1 and it's only in the 7th inning, so they would have overlapped. So I figured, we can kind of keep up with the last few innings here and watch SummerSlam at the same damn time. Let's go, baby. Dancing Dog in the building. What's good? Cole in the building. What's good? Zini in the building. I've missed you. It's been a minute. How are you? Are you excited for your Eagles here in 2025? I am for the Bucks. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much to get us started off on a good foot. We're at 10:90 to go to hit the goal. Stacks, racks with the little cactus jack, bang, bang. And we try to be able to do a WWE PLE. They usually have them once a month. So we try to, at minimum, do one stream a month, for WWE. And then sometimes we'll even, squeeze in a Monday Night Raw here and there. But when we're deep into, Mariner season, or if we're in the NFL college football season, sometimes it might be a little bit tougher for the Raws. But again, as long as there's not a schedule conflict, we're usually here. Now, every once in a while, if they end up going to Europe or if they have kind of a weird start time and they're in Saudi Arabia, I gotta have to kind of check to see with what other events that are going on, if it would be worth the time to do it, if it's at an awkward time. But it's been a little bit, and it feels good. We got the Mariner game on. I got WWE SummerSlam on, multiple TVs on here in the studio as well. I'm ready to go. Anybody that has impressed you on anything that you've seen video-wise, vlog-wise, blog-wise, social media post-wise? What's the vibe for Philadelphia? I assume, trying to win another championship. I mean, they got a great team, and you would assume they're going to be a top 2, top 3 team again in the NFC, and you would assume a top 5, top 10 team for most of the year. So, and I'm hoping to join you, up there. And again, we've really got a lot of great offensive pieces. Defense looks pretty good. We're going for our 5th straight NFC South title. And again, I know the Falcons will be good, but I definitely think that including the Rams, the Lions, there should be our teams there as well. So definitely excited to see where it goes. Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I've really built, the grind with the Mariner streams now. And we had kind of our breakout stream during the Home Run Derby where we hit 25,000. Then the MLB All-Star game the day after was like 16,000. And, early on, it was maybe about 500 to 1,000 total views, usually in that 20 to, 40, 50 range. And then, we started to kind of grind. And now we're doing usually about 2,000 to 4,000. Sometimes higher depending on, the particular game, but usually in that mode, and typically 100 to about 400 people. So obviously with this a WWE stream, I don't expect it to be as high as some of those because we're only doing these once a month or once every couple months if we skip a month with a weird time. But it definitely feels good to be able to finally kind of break through a little bit. And we already know how oversaturated the NFL market is. So I already know that. But again, I'm able to kind of dip my toes in and capture the Seattle Mariner market and the MLB market, capture the Oregon Duck market for college football, and then just try to do our very best with NFL, Blazers, Kraken, NASCAR Cup Series, WWE, and just try to give a kind of a wide variety of what we can be able to bring to the channel. But definitely feels good for something to, kind of break some ground besides the Oregon Ducks. And, the better the Mariners are going to be and the better Cal Raleigh is going to be breaking records, more eyeballs on us and me. And not only that, we had the best trade deadline with Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, two of the top 4 options. So we are a World Series contender, and we haven't been able to say that since 2001 with Ichiro. So again, a lot of good things to look forward to as we have Triple H come out here on the mic and greet the crowd. SummerSlam 2025 in New Jersey here on Peacock, and just turn it on and watch with me. Again, we'll do a little move by move. It's not going to be play by play like when I do baseball or football, and we're just going to enjoy the show. Absolutely, I'm going to be watching preseason. Just probably not going to be doing too many preseason games, especially if the Mariners are going to be on. Got to make sure we're grinding it out. Absolutely. Yeah, it feels good. I've had to reinvent myself, over and over and over, and going from reaction videos to live reactions and live streams and whatnot. So definitely, it's been a long journey, but I feel like we're still early into the journey, and we got a long ways to go. And let me know what you want to do photo-wise. If you got a wrestler in mind, or if you want to do Eagles, there's no problem with that. You let me know what you're looking at, and I got you. Let's go. And it's always nice for me, when I grind out so tough, during, baseball or football season, to be able to just kind of take a night and just be able to enjoy, WWE. It's always a good feeling. Wish the show for night 1 was a little bit better, top to bottom, card wise. It was a little weak. And I like Jelly Roll as an artist and as a human being, but I don't know. I just think sometimes they're kind of reaching, and obviously it's all about, viewers. It's all about subscribers. It's all about crossover and whatnot. But sometimes, it gets to a point where you're doing a little bit too much, like putting branding on the ladders, putting branding on the tables. I mean, when is it going to stop? I mean, are we going to end up getting branding on the actual wrestling gear, just like in football jerseys and in sports jerseys? Like all of a sudden I'm going to see Seth Rollins coming down to the ring, and on his singlet or on, his pants, he's going to have like Home Depot or Pepsi. Like, I mean, when is it going to end? Does it end with the actual gear, and they're not going to touch that itself? Are they going to try to put, branding on the boots, so it's like subtle, but not like, a big part of their actual gear? I don't know, but Rhea Ripley making her entrance here into the ring and starting it off with the triple threat. And with the ladies in female wrestling, I mean, I've been watching wrestling and sports since 1985. So I've been one of those OGs that, grew up before the internet, but then I also grew up with the internet. When the internet broke in 95, I was 13. So I had a good 12 years, outside, hanging out with friends, from sun up to sundown, going to basketball parks, playing catch, hitting the ball, spending time with friends, collecting cards and doing whatever, Magic the Gathering, Pogs, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards, whatever, it may be. And then to be able to hit, the internet era, things have been kind of crazy, going from, the old school, ways to where it is now. But with the females, even with the divas early on with the, Trish Stratus and the Tori Wilsons and Lita's and the Trish Stratus with the Stratus faction. And then you go to what we have available now. It's pretty amazing to see like how athletic the ladies are, how good they are on the mic, and to be able to go from where they were, maybe just a pretty face, to now people that are attractive, but also can wrestle with the best. And some are even more entertaining than the guys. And that may have not been the case, 10, 20, 30 years ago. And to me, Ripley, is almost like the modern day China, but better. Again, better mic skills, has the physique, but she can wrestle the men. Like China had the physique to wrestle with the men, but Rhea Ripley is like the true top to bottom full product. And as we see Io Sky making her entrance into the ring, I like Io as well because, again, a lot of Japanese wrestlers with Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka, they kind of dropped the ball. They didn't really give them their dues and the love and the gold when they were kind of in their prime. And hopefully that they will before they retire. But for Io, it's kind of like an Asian female Daniel Bryan. It's like someone that isn't really supposed to be over with the fans, isn't really supposed to be able to get the push as an undersized wrestler, but they definitely have embraced her. They've given her gold, and she can wrestle. And it's pretty amazing to see when we end up having these one-on-ones or these triple threats. It's must-see TV. That is big facts. If you end up watching Cena tonight here against Cody Rhodes, there's a lot of people that have been good and for quite a long time. Cody Rhodes is good. Randy Orton wrestled last night. AJ Styles wrestles today. It kind of just depends on what type, of wrestler you like. High flying. Obviously for me, wrestling and sports goes hand in hand because of mic skills. So a lot of times, the best wrestlers aren't just the people that wrestle the best on the mat. They also have to spit on the mic. Anybody can wrestle, but not everyone can spit on the mic and be a savage. And again, each individual is going to be a little bit different, but there's quite a few that are going to be on the card here tonight. If you do have Peacock, it's going to be a 10 out of 10 show. There's just no doubt about it. And again, if the card was better for night one, I would have done that. But again, they could have done SummerSlam in just one night, like tonight, and had like 8 matches or something of that. But obviously it's a little bit of greed and a little bit of money. They want to be able to sell the shirts and sell the tickets. But unfortunately, instead of evening out each show, it was kind of, not the greatest yesterday. And it's kind of really top heavy, middle and bottom heavy all on this night number 2. So looking forward to seeing how this one kind of plays out. We got a 5-4 lead here with the Mariners in the top of the 8th. And hopefully we're going to be able to get the win. We need 3 out of 4. Julio, one of the first players in MLB history for 2020, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bags, and 100 career home runs. And we've got homers from Jorge Polanco early in the matchup as well. So, and JP Crawford. So pretty cool to be able to see the team playing like this, and can't wait to be able to see what we get here in this first match. Odin in the building. What's good? And a lot of times I do these streams just for, Odin and Reefer, Sarah and a few others that, are wrestling fans, and we're going to be watching these events anyways. And usually I don't like to be able to miss, one of the main things that I do with like the Mariners and whatnot. But I did it yesterday. And again, the card for WWE wasn't the greatest, but today I don't want to miss arguably one of the best PLEs of the year. So Naomi with the gold. I love it. And sometimes that's all you need is a heel turn. And again, you get a heel turn and a new gimmick and things can really light up. Lenny D in the building. Didn't know if you were going to show up today, if you were busy. Nice. What game did you buy tickets for the Eagles, Zini? Chair in the building. What's good? And I got some new snacks as well. Ruffles has these new chips. I'm a chip connoisseur. They're called Double Crunch. So they're like baked, multiple times. So the crunchiness is like ×2 they advertised. So I had to obviously get some to see if they were. And they have a brand new flavor, honey mustard. And I was like, okay, honey mustard's probably my favorite dipping sauce. How bad is the chip going to be? It's probably going to be good. And took a chance. And it ended up paying off. They're definitely a chip that I'm going to buy again, and I'll be snacking on those. So today's show is sponsored by Ruffles Double Crunch Honey Mustard. Check them out. Row 8. Nice. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Zini. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. Sarah in the building. What's good? What did you think about the show, Sarah, Odin, Lenny D, yesterday? Obviously, the ending saved the show. Let's be real. So CM Punk wins. CM Punk fans are happy, right? First time that he got gold in years and years and years, right? Had it for 5 minutes, and then Seth came out with the fake injury. and then finish the show off right. If you love Seth, you love it. Even if you hate Seth, that was a good ending to the show, right? I mean, unless you're a CM Punk fan, then you're pissed, right? But you kind of, I don't know. No one really predicted that ending, and again, it was the swerve that we needed. I just wish that the card was a little bit better. And the one gripe that I have about yesterday, right? Not everyone is going to be CM Punk. Not everyone's going to be John Cena. Not everyone's going to be Randy Orton, right? But when you had Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, that could have been the sleeper match of night one. And you should have had Karrion Kross with Scarlett win, and you didn't. And I feel like when you end up, burying guys that are popular, that have built something after not really being a big name after all these years, as we see Ripley being introduced, like Kross should have won. They should have went that angle. It's like Sammy winning or losing at this point in his career doesn't matter. We do know Sammy will have his Daniel Bryan run and get gold before his career is over. He will have his moment, but I think they dropped the ball with that. And I don't know if they're going to end up re-signing Karrion Kross or he'll end up in AEW or somewhere else as they introduce Io Sky. And I love the PLEs that are outside. It's always a cool vibe when you can see the sun and you have those outdoor vibes. All day in the building. What's good? Naomi with gold looks great. How was fishing yesterday all day? You guys got the bag limit? Awesome. And what did you guys get? You got the trout, or what type of fish were you guys going for? I know you mentioned the two that you were going for, but what did you get? Vikings versus Eagles. I love it. Send me photos when you go to the game. Well, I already know you will. I'll see them on social media, but that'll be cool. I love it being able to see photos and people go to games and whatnot. But I think that really was my only gripe, the whole, Kross, Sammy. And I'm a Sammy guy through and through. I'm more of a Sammy guy than a Kross guy, but I felt like, Kross has kind of gotten over organically with great mic skills. And, with Scarlett, regardless if she's a blonde or brunette or a redhead, she's, he's got that angle as well. And I don't know. I was just, I know Reefer was probably in the same boat with me. We were kind of hoping that, Kross would get at least something. I mean, and not everyone is going to be able to be in the spotlight forever. And I like to be able to see people have their moments, even when they end up hitting 40 and their career is almost over, like DDP. And obviously the equivalent now would be LA Knight. I like this triple threat too, because normally when we have this triple threat, it's like Bianca, or like a Charlotte Flair, it seems like, or someone of that nature. So you get a little bit of everything. You get extremely athletic wrestler in Naomi going heel with the gold, with the awesome ring gear. Io's the high flyer, kind of the Daniel Bryan of this generation that wasn't ever supposed to be over or have gold, but she overachieved and the fans bought in, and so did the people in the back. And then with Rhea Ripley, she is the best female wrestler in the business, in my opinion, and it's not even close. And she might be the best that we've seen in a long, long time. Now, Charlotte Flair will always have the accolades, and we have to wait for Ripley to catch up, obviously, in that category. And Bianca, obviously, is very talented as well. But, man, Ripley, as far as selling moves, mic skills, maybe the only wrestler that's a female that actually could wrestle the guys and make it realistic and believable. It's great to be able to see the evolution. Oh, big kick to the face there. Ripley to Io. Wow. And we still got a 5-4 lead here with the Mariners against the Rangers. We're going for the 3-for-4. And hopefully we can get some more production. We got a Polo solo dinger, right? And we ended up getting a JP dinger. Julio got a dinger, 100th career. Nice crossbody there by Naomi. And Julio Rodriguez is the first player in MLB history to get 20 home runs, 20 stolen bags in his first 4 seasons. Nobody's done it. So for all the people that thought, Julio is overrated, he stinks, he's not good enough, just because he struggles at the beginning of the year, people have recency bias. He's over a 300 hitter after. But again, we're expecting Ken Griffey Jr., and that might be unfair expectations, but he's still a really damn good player. And in center field, one of the best defenders in the league. Made a couple big plays today as well. And I like this new version of Naomi as well, going heel. I love the ring gear and the colors. It's kind of like caution tape with all that type of, theme. And again, sometimes that's what you need. You need to be able to, go for a heel turn and a gimmick change to really connect with the audience, or maybe to connect with people like Triple H in the back, people that are actually coming up with the storylines and whatnot. But again, Naomi is one of those people that they could have overlooked, right? And maybe underappreciated, like Natty as well. But again, just because you've been in it for quite some time doesn't mean you can't have a little bit of gold and have a little bit of a run.
It's legal, no disqualification during the triple threat match tonight. The new attitude by Naomi. I tried to talk to her about it earlier today.
Lucas in the building. What's good? Boston, Minnie, Philly, Nolans. Nice. Live your best life, especially if you work hard and you have the funds to do it. That's awesome. No largemouth bass. Wow, that's awesome, dude. And that's going to be good for the mental health. Anytime that you can end up being near water and, kind of getting away from work or just the everyday home duties of being a dad and whatnot. And then you can have some fun and kind of just reset out there, enjoy the water and the good company and the vibes, and glad the fish were biting. Yeah, I mean, if the Mariner game was on like 1 hour earlier and it started at noon, I could have probably done both Mariner game, but Mariners was at 1, and I thought originally SummerSlam started at 4 on both days. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I can squeeze it in, but then I double checked and it was 3. So I had to make a choice, and it wouldn't have made sense of me just doing the Mariner game for 2 hours and, cutting out after like the 5th or 6th inning. So figured we could just still go over it here and enjoy SummerSlam. Lenny D, my boy, in the building. What's good? Two. And anytime it feels like you have Ripley and Io, it's always going to be better when you have that third individual in the match. I feel like the females have really figured out, if you get the right combination together, triple threats can end up being some of the best female matches ever. Nothing against one-on-ones. I mean, if you have the right individuals, for the one-on-one, yeah, that could be electric as well. But just having that other person in the ring, to be able to do 2-on-1 moves, and you can do, different sets and different spots that you can't do one-on-one, makes it special. And then if you end up having a gimmick like, TLC or cage or ladders, then it takes it to a whole nother level. All right, we got a 5-4 lead against the Rangers. We're in the top of the 9th, and hopefully we'll be able to mow them down. Munoz is on the mound, Adolis Garcia in the box, and then we'll be able to have my full attention here on SummerSlam in a matter of a couple minutes. High risk, nice missile drop kick there by Io, and a nice kip up as well. Crazy to see how the fans have really embraced Io, just like Daniel Bryan. And again, you'll see, certain, wrestlers from different ethnicities and backgrounds, get love from the crowd and sometimes not. Kind of really depends on the music, the image, face or heel, and how long they've been with the company and overall the type of matches that are being booked, if they can actually shine like Io got the opportunity to. Because you got to think, Io, you could have flipped maybe Io for like Asuka if she never got hurt. But I don't know if the response would have been the same, with Asuka and Io. It's, a little bit different, it seems like, with Asuka and the face paint and whatnot. Not as appreciated and not as celebrated, but should be. Nice move by Ripley there. Yeah, I've been watching it from the very beginning, though. I don't miss a Mariners game, and usually we're only going to miss like maybe, 5 to 8, and the only reason we would miss it is if there's a WWE PLE, and Garcia just gets walked. So we got a runner at first with no outs. 2. Io has gotten pretty polished over the last few years as well. You've seen a lot of improvement, not from just Io, Ripley, Bianca, and even, with some of the others as well that we saw last night, like Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. Oh, my goodness. What a move. 2. What a move by Io Sky. Yeah. They were talking about making him the face of like AAA and whatnot. That would be kind of cool. I mean, any time you can get people in the Latino culture, and you can get someone to be kind of that ambassador to not only get more Latino and Latina fans to be able to be engaged, but also fans of any race to be engaged in kind of lucha libre style, which is one of my favorites. Oh, Ripley. Oh, another power bomb. 2. And Naomi pulls off Ripley on the 2 count. Top of the 9th, 5-4 Mariners with 1 out. Are they going to review it? JP. Oh, he dropped it. Shit. And then a flip. And they're trying to see if he got him. I think he's out. Looks like he got him. Yeah, I'm Jacob. I'm watching it right now. So it's almost over. It's in the top of the 9th. Wow. High risk by Io. Wow. JP kind of bobbled the defensive play, but got the flip late. But I think the tag is in time before the foot actually hits the bag. Yeah, I think he's out at second there. Oh. Let's go, baby. Runners out at second. I like that, baby. Io going crazy back and forth. I like the fast-paced intensity. You got to be able to keep the crowd engaged, and obviously whoever starts off, that's usually going to be, the best match or the second best match to set the tone. And this is a perfect match to start off here in SummerSlam night number 2. Oh. Top of the 9th, 5-4 Mariners, 1 out with a runner at first. It'd be beautiful if we can get a double play here with Wyatt Langford. Little slow dribbler right up the middle to JP or Cole Young. Throw to Naylor. Goodbye. But I'll also take back-to-back punch-outs by Mooney if we need those. Nice moonsault by Naomi. Cover on Ripley. 1, 2, 2. Oh! And Io with a moonsault on Ripley. Man, they timed that beautifully. 1 second after the other. Oh! 2. Mooney's got an 0-2 count here on Langford. Come on, baby. Great sequence there by the females. 0-2 pitch, popped up and fouled back. Top of the 9th, 5-4 Mariners with a runner at first and 1 out. And we got SummerSlam. So I only got a few more minutes of this Mariner matchup, and then I can fully give all my focus back to WWE SummerSlam New Jersey. And we should be able to see Reefer in here at some point as well, because I told him I was only going to probably do 1 day. Big uppercuts there by Io. Oh, big high knee. Wow. Riptide. Uh-oh. 1, 2. Oh, late save by Io. Great match to start off SummerSlam. New Jersey, night number 2 so far. I need a Mariners win, though. Throw to second. Oh, my gosh, safe. They need to review that. Yeah, we're going to have to review this throw by Cal Raleigh to second. We might have gotten a second out here. Let me look at the ump calls it safe, but can't really tell with his shoe. And now we got Ripley and Io trading blows back and forth. It kind of looked like he was off the plate, but you got to be able to see where that foot is. And the foot kind of bounces off of it. You know, like almost gets it initially and goes off. Maybe out, right? Kind of looks out to me. And now I got Io and Naomi here. Oh, big boot. Oh, wow. Look at the high risk by Ripley to launch her body like that outside of the ring, being that tall. Are you fucking kidding me? Unreal. I mean, again, like what? There's nothing Ripley can't do. I mean, besides like 450 splashes at the top and whatnot. And you're not going to see her doing really moonsaults, but man. Oh, that sunset flip would have been crazy. Oh, right on Naomi. Man, these ladies are killing it on this opening match. I mean, if any of the matches had this type of flair from yesterday, it definitely would have added to what we had. There we go. 2 away, baby. We got it all day. Great throw by Cal Raleigh. Don't you dare throw and run on us, baby. 2-2 pitch. Got him. And there it is, baby. Mariners win. Final score, Seattle 5, Rangers 4, and the Mariners win 3 out of 4. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. All right, now I can fully focus. Let's go, baby. Mariners win. Hell yeah. Now my day is going to be like complete. Oh, Io, top rope with Ripley. Oh, wow. And another save. Wow. What a chaotic match there. Final score, Seattle Mariners 5, Rangers 4. Mariners win, Mariners win, Mariners win. Let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about.
The crappiest woman on earth played all the right cards tonight. Naomi, the world is basking in your glow. Congratulations. Still, world just
let's go. And the crazy thing is that any of the 3 could have won and the crowd would approve. And that's pretty rare. You know, that you want to be able to have someone continue to get the love when they normally don't. Ripley can have the belt at any time, and Io had her little run, but, you know, she might be able to get another belt at some point or another. But, you know, it's always cool to be able to see new faces being able to, you know, make their dreams come true. And, again, they're not going to be able to give everyone gold, but hell of a start off here on night number 2 between Io Sky, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. Beautiful. And it's cool that, you know, Naomi had like the gimmick change and kind of the heel turn. So I think that she'll be able to gain, you know, more fans that maybe didn't care about her when she didn't have gold. sometimes, the fans need to see a wrestler with gold to be invested. And then once they lose it, they're still invested. But if they never have gold, or very rarely, it has to be something that you have a connection with that wrestler to keep buying in. So nice job. Great opening match there. And the Mariners win. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll try to get as many as we can with we'll see what type of audience that we get. Obviously, it'll be a little bit less than doing a Mariner stream, which I know. And we'll see if we get Reefer in the building at some point. And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go. But so far, so good. And again, that was definitely entertaining.
SummerSlam has delivered some of the most amazing moments in WWE history. Boy, look at this. In 2026, we will once again make history. Saturday, August 1st, Sunday, August 2nd, 2026, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, live in the world-class U.S. Bank Stadium. WWE will bring two epic nights at SummerSlam to the Twin Cities. So there's only one question I ask. Are you ready? And ladies and gentlemen, first week of August next year, 2026, SummerSlam, another epic two-night event. It will head to the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota for
great opening match.
And tonight's Lunacan is brought to you by Cricket. Fast and powerful nationwide 5G coverage. You can stress less and smile more. Well, huge WWE fan from the Indiana Pacers, the two-time All-Star, Tyrese Halliburton. Not miss the opportunity to be here in the front row tonight. Also here tonight, that man,
Nick Hogan, Halliburton.
the Hall of Famer, Michelle McCool. And Johnny, it's sure to be an epic SummerSlam Sunday. Over SummerSlam, leading the charge is the one and only OG Drumstick Code. He's bouncing, he's coming, and he's dripping in deliciousness. He's cloud, don't get enough, and that is why Drumstick is America's favorite. It's crunchy, chocolatey, creamy, crispy. What more can you ask for? Drumstick is the ultimate snack. And yes, indeed it is. Nonetheless, we want to thank Cardi B for Outside, the official theme song of SummerSlam. I should let you do that all the time.
Odin with a 20. He's having issues with his phone and his computer, so hopefully we'll get him back in here.
The official eyewear of WWE. Fans get 10% off when they use the code WWE at Zenny.com and Zenny app. Zenny Eyewear for everyone.
Odin 120. Appreciate you, my guy. Stacks, Racks, Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And hopefully the phone, internet, or computer issue will be solved, and we'll be able to get Odin in here. We can throw some photos up for him. We're at 30, 70 to go to hit the goal.
In honor of the 25th anniversary of the very first TLC match at SummerSlam 2000, We're thrilled to have two of the teams who competed in that match with us here tonight. Please welcome WWE Hall of Famers, Bubba Ray and T-Bar.
Oh, Dudley Boys. 3D, baby. Testify.
And WWE Legends, Matt and Chip.
Oh, Hardys, let's go. Obviously, they're missing Edge and Christian, but they will not be there. Throw up a little white 6 for my boy, and hopefully he'll be in here shortly.
The following is a table, ladders, and chairs match. And it is for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
This TLC tag should be interesting.
No submissions, no countouts or disqualification. The only way to win is when one team climbs a ladder and retrieves the titles hanging above the ring. Introducing first, the Street Profits. This is actually the third table to ladders and chairs.
All right, Street Profits making their way to the ring.
Beat Jeff Hardy in TLC match. The WWE Tag Team titles are on the line at this one time. The Street Profits won 3 times.
Montez Ford could definitely have a solo run. But again, then obviously would leave his tag team partner kind of just by himself, which probably wouldn't be the best thing for, the group itself. But all right, DIY. The outdoor setting is pretty sweet. It's not like they do them that often anymore. But the layout with the screens up high like that, that's pretty incredible. Whenever I see like outdoor events, it definitely reminds me of like the 90s, where it was kind of one of those things where you would see it a little bit more often in WWF and in WCW. All right, who's coming out next? Lots of pyro. Motor City Machine Guns. There's going to be a lot of chaos in this match. TLC tag. I mean, you don't typically see that. And especially with multiple teams included as well. And this is a great match to have as match number 2. Since obviously some of the wrestlers are, going to be more well-known than some of the others. Great tag team here. For Axiom, huh? I like the high-flying style that they wrestle. It's very lucha libre. And not just for one of the wrestlers, both. Finlay in the building. What's good, brother? Mariners just got the win against the Rangers, winning 3 out of 4. And normally I'm doing Mariner games, but the Mariners started at 1, and it would have, kind of overlapped. So I decided that this would be the, one day in the month that we would do something other than the Mariners while we're still in baseball season. And we're getting closer to college football and the NFL. Obviously, preseason will be coming up pretty shortly after the Hall of Fame game with the Chargers and the Lions, with Trey Lance doing well, but still the mechanics looked a little off when you watched him throw. But good for him to be able to get a few other chances to be able to show his skill set, before we get into, the regular season. But how have things been for you, Finlay? Opening match was amazing with Ripley, Naomi, and Io Sky, and I have a feeling this one is going to be right there with it. It's like every match should be a banger pretty much the whole way through out of the 6. So
I love this team. Andrade and Phoenix undefeated. They're starting to keep together on Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, so all the teams in this match, we talked about how much history they all have together. They're talking about maybe like this fraction is like a couple of years together.
there's going to be so many unique moves. It's one thing if you do a TLC with just one tag versus another, right? 2-on-2. But when it ends up, having 6 people involved, 3 tags, 8 people involved, 4 tags, or 10 people involved, 5 different tag teams. I mean, then you have a chance to have teams work with each other, to be able to do, moves that maybe you wouldn't expect that they would be able to do. And obviously you can always have the 1 versus the other 7 or 1 versus the other 9, doing some high risk maneuver outside of the ring, but definitely excited to be able to see what they have in their bag here with all of these tag teams. Would still be a good match, but to be able to have a TLC on top of everything else with all of these teams is going to take this match from being possibly a normal match, would be maybe a 7 or 8, but with the extra stipulation, it'd be highly unlikely that this is not going to be, at least you would assume, an 8.5 or higher, but could end up being a 10er when it's all said and done. Yeah, I mean, there might be some blood. There may be an injury. There's going to be high flying. You're going to see the chairs, the tables, the ladders. You're going to see double team, triple team, and anything above that, Good, man. That's good to hear. I was about to ask you, how are they looking? And, most people that are NFL fans, even though we're still, a little over a month away, from regular season, still kind of keeping up with practice and how people are looking and how the rookies are developing and whatnot. The 6. Yeah, but I've been good, man. Just been grinding pretty much every day doing Mariners, and then once we get into NFL season, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, some Bucks games and good matchups. Oregon Ducks on Saturday for every game of the season, and then once football season ends, we'll do a little Kraken, a little Blazers, a little NHL, a little NBA, a little NASCAR, but we'll still do WWE typically once a month. So, and I was doing Raws a couple times a month before baseball season. But once, baseball season's in full swing, I'm going to try to grind it out. And, we've been gaining some really good momentum too. So finally got like the, Mariner audience, and, it's kind of good to be able to know that there's a couple things that, that I kind of have a, kind of a good hold on, on certain fan base, with the Seattle Mariners and the Oregon Ducks. So I know I'm going to be able to, work those markets. And, if the Mariners and the Ducks ever win a championship, then that could be the moment where this channel takes a big leap. So, and it's possible, both teams are going to be championship contenders, not only this year, but hopefully, moving forward. So look at all the teams in the ring.
Apparently 10 versus 2. The 2 being the current champs.
12 wrestlers, 6 tags. This is wild. I mean, it could have been good even with just like 3 tags, and then they doubled it. So I like the way that they're thinking. I mean, there's just going to be chaos, and it's like you may not be able to keep your eyes on just one spot. You're going to have to like look around, and there's going to be crazy moves in the ring, outside the ring, on the ladder, in the crowd. I mean, you don't really know what to expect. I love it. Oh, Fraxium. Oh, wow, like that already? These guys are getting crazy. Oh, high risk, high risk, high risk. Everyone going outside the ring. Wow. Fraxium going ham with a lot of suicide dives out there, out to the ring. Nice double drop kick there from Fraxium. Super excited. King of the Hill comes back tonight, depending on where you're at. So on Hulu, I think they're gonna drop all 10 new episodes at like 9 p.m. Pacific. So most people will be watching tomorrow, but I'll probably end up watching it later tonight. Animation has changed slightly, and a couple people have passed away since the show last aired, 10, 15 years ago. But based on the previews that I've seen, it looks pretty awesome. Bobby's all grown up. They're going to touch on current events and things that have been going on recently. So, and it won't be as controversial as South Park, but should be good. Oh, Gacy missing the ladder. Oh, nice move by the Street Profits there. Gained another sub. Appreciate that. 22 to go to 21,300. The Slim Jim tables. That's when you know things have definitely, you've sold out, when you're putting stickers on the tables and whatnot. It's like ridiculous the amount of branding that they have. But again, I get it. If you're a company and there's going to be millions of people watching SummerSlam. So if you are going to invest money, you may be able to get better results investing on a advertising spot here rather than like a 30-second commercial, depending on what network it's on. So, But it just, to me, there's some places that, advertising may be okay, but I mean, putting them on like the chairs and the tables is a little extreme. Like, it's a little unnecessary. It's a little extra. Oh, almost got the belt there. Double DDT or suplex. Nice counter. There you go. Three amigos. Then the Eddie chants go wild. Love me some Eddie. Yeah, I mean, Finley, all you had to do was look at the card on night one and it looked terrible. The only really match I was kind of like be excited for was the Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett, and they didn't even let Karrion Kross win, so, which is kind of a shame, because Sami winning, it doesn't really prove anything if he would have won or lost. So with Kross and the way that his career has been lately, has kind of gotten over organically, from the fans and whatnot, and good on the microphone. I mean, that could have been like a one moment that you could have given that particular wrestler. Sammy's going to have many memories and many moments, but I mean, I don't think they really gained anything by Sami winning that match. So if anything, they hurt Kross's potential future, maybe with the company, and just kind of unfortunate that sometimes they don't take advantage of certain opportunities that arise. I mean, not everyone's going to be a Randy Orton, or an AJ Styles or a Cena or a Punk or a Seth Rollins or a Roman. Sometimes one win like that might be the biggest thing for that guy, in his career. Look at this double team move. Oh, Jesus. On the chair? Wow. All right, Motor City Machine Guns, I see you. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I'm not a fan of him, but I just felt like, the way that he was starting to kind of get over, they could have given him his like one moment. You know what I mean? Oh, Jesus. Whoa. Oh, my. Into the table from the outside. Oh, my God. Here we go. Another table spot. Oh, with the leg drop. Let's go. Oh, man, this is crazy. I mean, the opening match with Ripley and Naomi and Io Sky was awesome. This is right. I mean, you're starting it off with back-to-back tenors. 5-star through the table. Frog splash. Wow. And again, this is the first time I believe we've had a TLC with 6 teams before. I don't think we've ever had this before. And man, incredible. It would have been cool with 3 teams, but to have 6 with a total of 12 wrestlers is fucking insane. Oh my, no way. No way. No way. No way. Oh shit. Oh my God. Check their necks. Oh my God. I mean, if these guys aren't careful, they're gonna, oh my God. That was one of the craziest spots I've ever seen. And again, you only have so much room from there to the barricade and then to the actual, wow. Oh my God. I mean, you only have so much give right there. Oh my God. And anytime you're going backwards, and whatnot, and you have to do a flip and you're carrying another wrestler, I mean, you don't time it right. You land on your neck and, you're paralyzed. Wow. Incredible. Reefer in the building. Man, they are wild and out. Good to see you, man. Odin was in here early, but he's having some internet issues. B-Fab. Candice LeRae. So much chaos. So now, why are the females getting involved here? I'm a little confused. It's not like a free for all for like the men's or the women's, is it? Yeah. Well, I mean, 6 teams with a TLC. I mean, it already has the writings on the wall of being the most, crazy, type of match that you're going to get. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Candice LeRae into the fucking ladder and it broke in half. Holy fuck. That was one of the hardest bumps I've seen a female take ever. That was insane. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even think I've ever seen a ladder break like that. Obviously, it was pre-cut, but still, holy hell. Oh, my God. I mean, even if a big guy, went through that particular spot, that would have been something. But to have a little smaller female wrestler take that bump, even with the ladder being pre-cut, wow. Incredible. Holy hell. I mean, we've already seen a few moves and a few spots that we may have never seen before. And that's what it's about. Oh, Big Red with the big boot. I mean, 12 wrestlers involved, and then you're getting others that are running in. TLC. Ooh, Rowan. Too bad Brody Lee is not still with us. Yeah, there's definitely going to be an ice bath for everybody after this one is done. A drink, a smoke, a beverage. Man. Oh, chair shots for days. It's like Stone Cold all over again. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, I love it. Now, if they would have spread out some of the matches from night 1 and night 2, then they both would have been, a chance to be like maybe, 9s, both on, but again, I feel like yesterday really underwhelmed. And, if they didn't do that finish with Seth at the end, I think most people would have thought maybe like a 5 to a 7 or, something in that range. But today has got a chance to be a 10. And we've already got, 2, potential 10ers to start off. And then 4 more to go after that. And LeRae has got to be happy that, well, we'll have to check, but she might have a big cut on her side when that ladder, broke right there. All it takes is a little bit of metal to be exposed to get a scratch that can turn into a pretty deep cut. Ciampa hanging on for dear life. Oh, my. Oh, my. High risk. Wow. Ciampa hanging upside down like a bat. They better pray that that fucking thing holds and he doesn't fucking fall down and break his neck. Man, listen, this match is fucking insane. This is something that they should do every year. TLC tag with 6 different teams. Make it like a thing. Oh, a big super kick. Oh, headbutt to the abs. Yeah, this match is a 10 doesn't even do it justice. It's like at a fucking 20. Oh God. I hope nobody breaks a neck or has an injury here. As a wrestler, you know, people that do high risk. Oh, Bo Dallas. Bo. Oh, to the tables. They jumped off for extra effect. Sell your body, baby. It's like, oh, boy's getting choked. He's still trying to grab it. All you have to do is believe. Oh, my. Oh, my God. What did I just watch? Holy fuck. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I mean, I'm a fan of ECW and, you know, New Jack and the crazy shit, but man, this match is right up to some of those old school ECW pay-per-views that I used to watch. Holy hell. Nice double team move there. I love the creativity. I love the fast pace. And I love the weapons and the big high-risk spots. And this one is checking all the box. This is a match that they're going to talk about for a long time. Wow. And the 6 retain. Man, again, the match would have been cool with 3 teams, right? It would have been cool if it was just, a tag team TLC with just 2 teams. But the simple fact that they did 6, kudos to them. I mean, to be able to get other teams involved that normally would never be on SummerSlam so that they can all share this moment together, even though the 6 retain. That was fucking incredible. Man, cue the ice baths immediately. Drink, smoke, ice bath, burger, pizza, whatever they want. Wow. Yeah, agreed. I mean, I've been watching wrestling since, 1985, and I can honestly say that was one of the most entertaining matches I've seen ever, on, whatever it may be, NWA, WWF, WWE, WCW, ECW, AEW, NJPW, TNA, Impact, you name it. Wow. Incredible. Insane. And then they had obviously the Dudleys and the Hardys there ringside. If Edge and Christian weren't obviously in AEW, they would have been there as well, and that would have gave you the whole original TLC vibe with the Hardys and the Dudleys and Edge and Christian. Wow, incredible! I guarantee Edge and Christian are going to be watching. They'll definitely be checking out that as well as everyone else. That match was so good. I might have to watch it again later tonight. Shit, I might have to just rewatch night 2 over at some point, but King of the Hill drops obviously tonight. So, and I've been a fan of that show since day 1. So, and they're going to drop all 10 new episodes, I think at 9 p.m. Pacific, right when it hits midnight, wherever you are. So, yes. Byron was up front pretty much all day and whatnot. Congratulations to him. We're getting very, very close to the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Just a few races to go. Canelo and Crawford.
epic showdown in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Get your tickets now.
Red Zone going to ESPN. Yeah, ESPN is terrible. Agreed. Lenny D, that was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life. You know, I mean, 12 wrestlers, TLC, and then, you know, a good majority of the wrestlers are athletic too. So then it's not like you got 12 big guys, you know, like Big Show running around. Like, you know, you actually got guys that can do the high risk. And there was a couple spots that could have led to some pretty bad injuries. And I imagine there's going to be photos of some of the cuts and the bruises and whatnot after the aftermath. Wow. Agreed. Yeah, but I'm ready for college football and the NFL as well.
Well, this is SummerSlam Sunday, but here at MetLife Stadium and around the world, they're still talking about what happened last night and SummerSlam Saturday when Seth Rollins shocked the world and cashed in Money in the Bank.
Oh, damn. I was going to say, I figured you were hanging out with your kids or you had family stuff going on and whatnot. So it was good. You know, some good spots. You know, Io, amazing. Naomi with the heel turn is amazing. And, you know, obviously we know with Ripley is, you know, incredible. And with the Seth reveal of the fake injury and cashing in last night, obviously that was, you know, kind of what took that, you know, night number one from maybe a 5 or a 6 to, you know, maybe a 7 and whatnot. But it's still, overall, the card was not very good. But, and Reefer, what about Karrion Kross and Scarlett not getting the love, man? They had nothing to gain by Sammy winning. You know, they could have gained more by Kross winning, you know, but I don't know. You know, I guess it just really depends if they like you or not in the back. And if they want to, you know, let you have your moment. It's like, how many moments is a guy like Kross going to fucking have? I mean, he's been, you know, wrestling for a long, long time. And, you know, not every guy is going to be popular and over. But once you start to like get organically over, you know, you would hope that, you know, that they would listen to the fans and, you know, let them have their moment. It's not like, you know, Kross is going to be world champ for 2 years or 3 years in a row like Roman, but, you know, you can let him have like a moment here and there, but I guess apparently not. So.
Man, I still cannot get off the high I was on last night. That was just an absolutely incredible moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, WWE Slam by
Yeah.
Cops is your go-to destination.
Well, and Michael Cole, you know, when he said he was leaving, you know, it's like, oh, it's mind games, you know, just to come out there. Like, you know, I'm gonna get the belt at some point. And Punk only had it for like, what, 5 minutes? But yeah, that was a nice little swerve to make night number one, you know, respectable, where it was kind of in that could have been a hell of a lot better night number one, but all you had to do is look at the card and kind of understand that it would probably underwhelm a little bit. But you know, you're going from like one night being a 5 to a 7 to second night being a 10 or an 11. So.
No disqualifications, no countouts for the Women's Intercontinental Championship live next.
Oh, Lonnie Anderson. That is unfortunate. A lot of celebrities, it seems like nowadays, are, you know, going left and right. I mean, it's usually in the rule of threes, right? We had Malcolm Jamal Warner. Then we had Ozzy Osbourne, and then we had Hulk Hogan. Mangione ended up passing away in that kind of same time frame as well, but not many, you know, as many people know who that is. So. Yeah. I mean, as soon as the crutches were dropped and then the, you know, the brace was ripped off, you knew that he was cashing in. So. Yeah, I would assume so. We'll see what angle that they have or what new feud they have, after they go through, some of the stuff here in the next, few weeks and whatnot. But definitely very, very skilled. And again, this is the best the female division has ever been. And if I'm being honest, sometimes the female matches are better than the men matches. It just kind of depends on who's wrestling and what gimmick is involved, and what really we're talking about. Like, do we have build up, or is it just kind of something that was thrown together? So.
Limo and I help people save hundreds by customizing car insurance with Liberty Mutual. We ordered a limo. That'll be moved. Oh, yeah. We do that too. Limo? Just only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Ned's excited for his big date, but he's wondering,
What if a flaky plaque throws me off my game?
I have to go to all the Mariners social media pages, Facebook and Instagram and X, and like all the posts that we just did here because we just won. So that's what I'm doing right now, just real quick. Congratulations to William Byron.
Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or lungs. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen.
Fastest Mariners to 100 career home runs in games played. Julio Rodriguez and 542, which is third. A-Rod was one at 470. Cal at 482 was second. Julio third at 542. Most 20 home run, 20 stolen bag seasons in Mariners history. Julio's done it in his first 4 years. A-Rod 3, Griffey 2, Cameron 2. Youngest player to do 2020.
The following is a no disqualification match for the women's Intercontinental Championship. The only way to win is by pinfall or submission.
Woo! Woo! Now, there's a lot of posts. Lyra Valkyria. She's got a cool style of wrestling. All right, I think I got them all now. After all the billion posts. Trident's up. Let's go M's, baby. Man, that would be something. Yeah, I honestly think that the reason that they didn't have him win is because then that would give him hope that he would be re-signed. But having him lose, realistically, he probably won't be re-signed, so because I think that if they would have had him win, that would give him maybe that false hope, and then even if they had him win there's no guarantee that they would re-sign him or not, And then I wonder what Scarlett's situation is with her deal with WWE as well. It'd be kind of weird to have one and not the other. Yeah, they've definitely had a pretty rough year, but it's always cool when you can have moments and do something special, Yankees, even though they've had some injuries with Judge as of late, still a hard team to beat. So. You know, like I said, from what happened last year and everything, it kind of got me to a point where I wasn't really enjoying the NFL as much with fantasy. And again, you know, sometimes fantasy can make it interesting and you know, make it go above and beyond. But no, I haven't done anything fantasy yet, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to do anything on the channel or not. And if I do something on the channel, I may not be involved myself. You know. Because I put in so much time and effort and energy, you know, into it and whatnot. And obviously I know I'm not going to win every time that I, you know, do a league and whatnot. And it has really nothing to do with that, but it definitely kind of sucked out of the fun for me, you know, based on just the ridiculous injuries and unexpected things happening. And, you know, drafting could have been better. And, you know, I don't know. I'm just really hard on myself on that, you know, on that aspect of things. So. But usually when I end up doing fantasy, if I do it for like the channel, I usually just do one league and I'll wait until the last preseason game is over to make sure injuries are, you know, announced. And then that way that there's no, oh, fuck, I drafted a guy in the 6th round and he tore his ACL in the 4th preseason game. You know, you want to make sure that preseason's over before you do your draft. So at least that's what most people do. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch here.
Becky said, hey, listen, I'll give you one more chance. Lyra took it. Beat me if I get a chance to title Lyra. How did Lyra counter? Let's make this no count out, no disqualifications. Becky had no choice but to agree. Becky does not fear that from anyone. And a nice shot immediately then from Becky Lynch. It's turned into a slugfest. Valkyria now dropping the champion Lynch. Valkyria been extremely upset with her treatment by Lynch ever since the night after WrestleMania. The night that Becky Lynch turned on Lyra when they lost the tag team. No, they didn't lose them. Lyra lost the tag team titles.
Lyra with some stomps to Becky. Becky looks good with her hair up. She's kind of got the cane, black and red gear going on. And this is definitely a rivalry that they're building up for quite a few months, which you typically don't see all the time. Wow.
Bouncing Lyra's face straight off her announce desk. What did you just say, Michael Cole? Becky Lynch should not bring this kind of fire out of Lyra Valkyria. Yes, she should, because Lyra Valkyria just overcommitted. She was so.
And you also got to think if you're going to be a, you know, a one-on-one match with, you know, the females, and you're not doing high risk maneuvers like Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky, then, you know, there has to be another aspect of what you bring, you know, to the match to kind of keep the fans engaged, you know. And sometimes, you know, there'll be moments where things are, you know, they could be better and whatnot, but kendo stick and a crowbar, huh? I don't know if I've ever seen a crowbar that long before. Crowbar looking like an umbrella handle. Ooh, that was stiff. Nice little crossbody there by Lyra Valkyria. Yeah, I was about to say, you know, are we going to get a Bailey run in? Yeah. And then with Charlotte and Alexa, you know, if like they don't have a singles run for either one, you know, then they can obviously, you know, do a tag and, you know, they can go that route while they have the other females kind of do their own little, you know, rivalries and storylines. And then at some point they'll break up and they'll end up having a one-on-one match, Alexa and Charlotte, and then eventually split ways and, you know, go back into the singles run at whoever. Sarah with a $5. Appreciate you. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Yeah. I agree with that too. It's funny how perception can change with wrestlers, you know, based on having an injury and coming back, you know, having a certain type of gimmick and mic skills and, you know, having the crowd, you know, be behind you or against you. And, you know, things can change really quick, you know, with the WWE universe, you know, where they could be all about you, you know, 1 minute and then all of a sudden a few things happen and then they're against you, you know, and some of the wrestlers and the talent can handle, you know, that swing of things and others can't, you know, and it hurts them, you know, personally and whatnot. And, you know, sometimes you have to, you know, go from being a face to a heel or a heel to a face, and you got to go kind of run through the motions. So. I got you some Seth.
This could be a one-way ticket to the goal for Lyra Valkyria, whatever she is cooking up. I'm setting up the table inside. Becky Lynch, Becky from behind, Becky somewhere around the steel chain, and now using it to her advantage. The champions would call that a doubling grid. Oh, good. Look at this. The chain in the mouth of Lyra Valkyria and Becky with a 6-foot look on her face. Torturing the tonsils of Lyra Valkyria. And for good measure, eating the steel steps in the process. Once again, perhaps a little bit of over-enthusiasm from the young pretenders. Been playing too long. I'll stop with the pretender stuff. Well, you don't pretend until you...
And then once we get into the end of the match and we have a little bit of a break into the next, I can start doing some more photos and whatnot. $65 away. And then I'll have the day off tomorrow because the Mariners are off. So I'm going to spend it with Paisley. I'll probably try to, you know, go on some extra walks, watch the brand new King of the Hill that's dropping tonight and obviously tomorrow morning. And there'll be 10 episodes that drop. So I'm excited for that. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow. And then we'll be back on it on Tuesday for the Mariners. And I'll probably be working every day from that point, you know, grinding it out for the Mariners for who knows how many days in a row. But definitely want to be able to soak in this time with you guys with SummerSlam. And it definitely hasn't disappointed. I knew it was going to be good. And, you know, all you had to do was look at the card and know that it was going to be a little underwhelming. But did I still watch yesterday? Of course. Two. Yeah, but today was like the first day in a minute too, obviously, because I'm usually doing like every single game or almost every single game of the Mariners. But it kind of felt nice, like where I didn't have to call the game, where I could just kind of sit back, you know, with Paisley and just watch, you know, the game instead of calling it and just not have to worry about, you know, going through 10 different screens and having to grind it out and, you know, doing the broadcast, just taking a day to enjoy the action. And then right after that, being able to enjoy SummerSlam here with you guys. When you grind it out, you know, like I do, and you're working sometimes, you know, 2 weeks straight without a day off, it's really nice to be able to have a day like this once in a while. And I got a chance to go to Portland a couple days ago, went to Ground Control, 2-story arcade, got a chance to be able to walk the city a little bit during the early afternoon, got some good Bay's chicken. We went to Voodoo Donut, went there as well. So, and that's when JP had the walk off a couple days ago. So it was a perfect day, and it's been a kind of a perfect couple days. Crazy that we're already in August, and we're going to be very, very close into football season here. Nice drop toe hold onto the chair there. Two. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good time. And not every part of Portland is like, you're always going to see stuff on the news, and, they try to make like every single, thing about, it's like, oh, it's so dangerous, or there's so many bums, or so many crazy things going on, Antifa, this or that. I mean, again, maybe there was some of those things that were going on, but in every major city, in every state, you're going to have that, city or two that may be a little bit more dangerous than others. But based on the places that we went, it was very chill. Becky Lynch with the zip tie. Oh, with the wrench. And I appreciate all the people that have liked, sub, donated, commented, shared, and obviously, donations and everything will go towards like Paisley's dog food that I'll have to get pretty soon, and just basic things, just to be able to keep the dream going. Streaming fee, internet fee, dog food for Paisley, just the basic stuff to continue the grind and the dream. I kind of want to see a triple threat between Stephanie Vancouver, Io Sky, and Lyra Valkyria. I think those three in a triple threat would be very interesting.
Come on, Becky, what are you doing here? I mean, this is a woman that the locker room looked up to. She was a role model. People like Lyra Valkyria based everything in her career on Becky Lynch. And now Becky Lynch is trying to torture this woman, punish her with the kendo sticks. My God. Becky Lynch is just merciless, and that's how you have to be at the very top level. Well, I mean, at some point, Wade, and just go for the pin and win this thing. End it. And Becky Lynch.
I wonder if the reason that they did the weapons, with the match, did they think that they wouldn't be able to carry a match if it was just one-on-one with no extra stipulation? Oh, yeah. You know it, dude. Again, we got a really young team, but now we got a bunch of defensive guys. We got Yang, who's like a shorter version of Yao Ming, and super athletic. We already have Klingon from last year, and, Tumani Kamara was one of the defensive player of the years, and Scoot and Shea are young, but they have a lot of potential. And, Denny Advia might be the best overall player on the team for points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and hustle. So, we're really starting to build something special, which is kind of cool. And it may take us a couple years to get an 8 seed, but they're fun and young to watch. And we're more defensive oriented in the last couple years. So, and with Dame, he could be a coach and mentor Scoot and some of the young guys. And at the end of the year, if he comes off the bench with a 6-man, that would be cool. And then his last 2 years after that upcoming year, after his injury is healed, then he can be, either a starter with like Drew or come off the bench and be a 6-man. It really just depends on if, they want Scoot to develop now or later. But I'm definitely happy that he's back. It's always cool to be able to see someone come back home, Dame, and then obviously Eugenio Suarez for the Mariners. So we love that, especially when it's a player that's really well liked. Nice drop kick there by Lyra. Nice. 2. No hand moonsault. Lyra's got a lot of bounce, in her moves. And again, for a smaller wrestler, just like compare her to like Alexa Bliss, it's a little bit different when you see the smaller ladies, in the ring, and some will have a different move set than others that'll be, maybe more eye-catching or eye-popping and whatnot. But Lyra definitely is one of the better female wrestlers that is newer that's coming into the company as of late. Same thing with Stephanie Van Kerr and a few others.
Lyra here, obviously, protecting somehow untie the protective padding, the turnbuckle padding there. So ready for what before she exits this match. 1913 lost together. Now Lyra Valkyria tossing the turnbuckle outside the ring, and Becky from behind. Lyra driven into the shoulder first. Lyra had a rally. What can you expect to do? You can't wrestle. You can't combat this type of matchup when you can't use your hands. It was impressive enough. Lyra Valkyria is even still turning in this match. Becky has no idea what Lyra. Becky Lynch is with a challenger to the Intercontinental Championship is disappointed. There's going to be that's so long to go through the trial to the exit and say, no, I'm not sober. It's a Becky Lynch. I believe that the best woman has won. The best man has won, in fact. Becky looking.
Is that Bailey? Oh, that's Lyra. I was going to say, who is that? All right, Lyra. Get the zip tie off. She's like, can someone get me some fucking scissors? She said, fuck this. They ain't working. He's like, somebody's got to be underneath the ring with some scissors. Cut that shit off. Yeah, I figured that, they've been building up this grudge for quite some time, and they just can't do one-on-ones and with no gimmick forever, right? And it's not like either one of with Becky, neither one of these are really, necessarily high flyers and whatnot. Maybe Lyra definitely more than Becky, but Lyra's style of wrestling is a little bit more easier to watch than Becky's. Becky's is a little bit more stiff, in the ring. She's not really a high flyer. She's a good talker on the mic, but as far as like her in-ring presence, it could be better, but like I said, every wrestler has their own vibe and, their own kind of technique and whatnot, but and sometimes, when you're not a high flyer, and you may not be the greatest at technical wrestling or a certain move set, then you have to have other things that, give the fans a reason to connect with you and whatnot. So, but really Becky's biggest asset is her mic skills. that she had before Seth, and then obviously adding some, more to that skill set with Seth.
Becky with Lyra going to the manhandle slam. Lyra trying to counter. She's got Becky up on her shoulders now.
Oh, here we go. Oh, stiff. Lyra. Oh my. Oh my God. That definitely looked like it hurt a little bit. Wow. Great execution there. You got to make sure you cradle her neck, which Lyra did. Wow. Becky kind of wrestles like John Moxley, Dean Ambrose. It's kind of more like a brawling style, and again, some people will enjoy that. Every wrestler is, some are high flying, some are grapplers, some are brawlers type of style. Just got to have that right connection with the fans and the people in the back. That definitely looked like a move that would have got your wind knocked out of you for sure, though, from Becky's side. Oh, 2. This match obviously not as good as the first 2, but they're trying to, entertain for being a show that's in the middle of the card. In a couple good spots so far, but hard to be able to follow up TLC tag match with 12 people involved. Like almost anything after that is going to be, not as good, obviously.
Chairs and somehow kicking out. And now Becky Lynch with the chair in hand for the spine of Lyra Valkyria. Lyra has, she's absorbed so much.
Chair shot to the back from Becky Lynch.
Still in this. Becky just face first off the chair. Repeatedly up and down. Oh, no. My God. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Just kicking the back of the neck of Valkyria. Who's now caught inside the steel chair. Jamming against the sharp edge of the back of that chair. What the hell are you cooking up in there?
Oh, Jesus.
Taking more again. Lyra is trapped in that chair. Now Lyra, he may have Becky pinned against the post. And Lyra may use the chair now as a weapon. Becky Lynch, though.
Lyra trying to impale Becky from behind with the chair. You'll definitely see some originality out of Becky, though. I'll give her that. Usually you'll see some trying to, original spots and things that maybe you've never seen before. Oh, shit. Like that. Definitely maximizing the props in this particular match. Becky with the crowbar now.
Lyra has it moved. She's defenseless, and Becky now with that steel crowbar in her hand. Oh, come on, Becky, don't do this. Don't do this, Becky. Oh, no, from behind the family. Family's here.
There's Bailey. Reefer's all over it. We had a feeling.
And Becky didn't take the bait. causing a calm on down. Came out here to save Lila, who she's had a soft spot for her now. Becky with a chain wrapped around her hand, but Bailey saw it coming out. Bailey beat the hell out of the champion. The woman Becky Lynch took out right before WrestleMania 4 Plus. Becky got a stop. Legs and running, sipping out of the ball. Bailey is watching this match. Bailey cracks up to Becky and driving her into the barricade. Again, the official can do nothing. Match continues. No disqualification, but Lynch is being destroyed by Bailey here. Becky Lynch. This guy on a hard way. Bailey going flying into the
Bailey going into the crowd. Oh my God. Holy shit. The cameraman didn't even pan in. You just see Becky laying there and then near the table and then Lyra jumping on top of her and landing on her. Oh my God. It's like they didn't even cue back to the original cameraman. They're just like, fuck it. It's a surprise. Oh my God. What the heck was that? I'm not sure if that was planned or not. It was kind of cool. It was so surprising. It's like you didn't even know where she was. And then all of a sudden you assume that she's still stuck in the chair and they're just showing Becky like meddling around outside the ring near her table. And then, okay. This SummerSlam is full of surprises, I guess, huh? A little eye rake there by Becky. Oh, it's over. Not the best or the worst, but obviously the Bailey, run in gave you another little extra element to the end of the match and whatnot. Yeah, I do too because of the mic skills. It's always going to be a little bit harder for her, compared to maybe some of the others with athletic ability. But what she lacks in athletic ability, she'll make up for it in other parts of her repertoire. And obviously her mic skills are better than most of the females. There's certain females that are better, obviously, than others on the mic. So. Yeah, I would agree with that too. It's obviously not as exciting as her like Becky Two Belts run, when she got punched in the nose by Nia Jax, and that was like kind of a breaking out party for her. And, I feel like since she has come back, it hasn't been as exciting as maybe originally thought or where we thought it was going to go. But like you mentioned, for someone that doesn't do high risk maneuvers, someone that is a little bit more stiff in the ring and, compared to maybe some of the others and whatnot, it's like you got to be able to shine in, other, facets of your game. And, we know that she can do it on the mic. And even though she might not be as athletic as some of the other females, she does bring kind of an originality to some of the moves that she does. And that will help her, stand out not only in the match that she's in, but obviously moving forward. It also helps that you're with Seth Rollins too. She's definitely come a long ways for sure. And I always liked her, when they had the 4 horsewomen coming up, I thought, she was the one that, was kind of like the underdog. But I felt like at some point, if she could ever have a moment, there's something could be there and whatnot. And yeah, she's definitely come a long way. And I don't know. And I think with Becky right now, too, with the run being a little boring, I feel that it's a little boring, too, because it seems like it's not authentic. It's a little forced, just like with the rivalry and just when, she came back, and again, when you get a wrestler to come back, whether it's Charlotte or her, you don't really know how they're, going to approach you. Are they going to approach you with cheers or boos? And then you got to be able to, adjust and pivot and whatnot. But at least it's given Lyra Valkyria time to shine with her as well. Good PLE here in SummerSlam so far on night number 2.
WWE, a lot of talk about SummerSlam, including the SummerSlam recap, which comes your way tomorrow, hosted, of course, by Sam Roberts and Megan Moran. Well, guess who's here at ringside tonight? A man who last night wowed the world, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
Also tonight, my guy Metro Boomin is in the house.
Metro.
My man Metro Boomin enjoying SummerSlam. And there, of course, is a Tagalili Gold. They performed America the Beautiful earlier tonight. And tremendous rendition by this group earlier on to kick off SummerSlam.
Oh, everyone's favorite, Danger Russ. Even the people there booing him. Oh, yeah, that frog splash definitely fucking hurt. You could definitely tell, though, if you watch the replay, that Logan hit his elbows and his knees on the table mostly, instead of just trying to go all body on body, chest on belly, or chest on chest, because then it would have probably broke his fucking ribs, going up from that high. But again, some of that impact, Logan definitely took to get the table to break, and it wasn't so, just body on body and whatnot, but still, you could definitely tell for a guy that is a, singer and, an artist, entertainer, not a wrestler. Yeah, definitely was probably a bigger bump than he anticipated that it was going to be.
Eczema isn't the same for everyone, but with Eblis, people with moderate to severe eczema.
I just don't know if I really like the idea of entertainers mixing in with WWE, but I guess the era that we're in now is that, they pretty much are about money and advertising. I mean, they're putting fucking advertising on the chairs and the ladders and the tables. So if they're doing that, then nothing should really be out of the ordinary, I guess, now. But I mean, it kind of feels like we're going towards more like, social media and entertainers and kind of getting away from the whole wrestling thing. And I get it. You're trying to expand your brand. You're trying to, tap into other fans, that maybe like Jelly Roll, but aren't fans of wrestling. And then all of a sudden they see Jelly Roll in WWE, and then all of a sudden they follow WWE. I get it. I understand why they're doing it, but I don't know. I just don't really like it. It's like they could have had a match like that, like on Monday Night Raw, but I get it for Jelly Roll. It's cool for him and whatnot and his fans, but I don't know, that I feel like that could have been something that they didn't have to put on SummerSlam. Like I would have rather seen, Randy Orton and Logan Paul, one-on-one. I think that would have been a little better. But again, I do understand why they did it and whatnot. So, I mean, Norton, back in the day, there was a time and a place, for people outside of WWE, and they've always had like little, Mr. T and, celebrity types of people, Mike Tyson, here and there, but.
Subaru construct models during the Subaru Lot to Love event.
We're here. Progressive's accident response detected an accident and sent for help.
Did we beat him? Where's Superman?
Saving the world, maybe?
We got the day off tomorrow, and I think the Mariners, I want to say the White Sox. And again, that's going to be a scary matchup because that would be someone that we normally play down to the competition and not play up like we do with the Astros and the Rangers. So, yeah, it's White Sox. So I'll be live on Tuesday at 6:40 Pacific. And I believe it's Brian Wu on the bump, and hopefully it'll be a good outing for him. Last couple outings, he's been beat up a little bit. Yeah, Martin versus Brian Wu. So hopefully he'll be able to get into the win column. But it's like with the White Sox, they're not a very good team. But again, if you play down to the competition and then they get like some lucky home run or RBI early and it's like 2-0 or 3-0, sometimes you don't come back from that. And hopefully that they can get up for that series. But anytime you play, Marlins or White Sox or kind of, one of those teams that's kind of near the bottom, it typically ends up being a harder game, believe it or not, than going against like the Astros or the Rangers or the Yankees or the Blue Jays or the Tigers. Because if we play them, we're going to bring our A game and we're going to, go for like a playoff battle and we're going to bring the fight, and we might get our ass kicked in one game in the series, but most of them are going to be close, right? And we should have a good chance. But when you play a 3 or 4 game set against a mid team or a bad team, depending on how you start the series, there's a chance that you could split or only win like 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4. I don't think you would get swept by a team like that, but that's the type of mentality that usually hits every team. But it's not just a Mariner thing. It's a team thing that happens to everyone. Like we have a harder time as Mariner fans when we go against the Angels and the Athletics with bad records than we do when we face the Astros and Rangers when they're good. So records go out the window when you're in a division. So Logan is a pro, good on the mic, and obviously he was already good on the mic on YouTube with all his social media endeavors, but it's his in-ring ability that really has surprised people and gone above and beyond. Travis Scott, yeah. Well, the whole Rock, Travis Scott, and all that angle was, wasted for pretty much nothing. And Jelly Roll probably more universally liked than Travis Scott, so. Solo Sokoa versus Jacob Fatu in the cage. Let's fucking go, baby. Yeah, but that's the thing, Jacob. It's the White Sox, so we should win. But, we just got to hope that, at least the games are not in Chicago, because when there's a rain delay, we lose like 99% of the time. So luckily we have a roof. And if there is going to be any rain, it won't be an issue. So. Yeah, Jelly Roll put in the work. There's no doubt about that. And we've seen like, Bad Bunny, do his thing, Pat McAfee do his thing, and Logan obviously is a full-time wrestler that definitely did his thing as well. Had some good success, just like the Miz did after being on Real World Road Rules and making a name in WWE. Maybe not as a wrestler to start off. Same thing with Logan Paul. More of a social media entertainer and YouTuber and whatnot, and then going to WWE.
Championship against Jimmy Uso at Saturday night's main event last month. Okay, Solo Roll up. This is a different ball game.
Yeah, but Jelly definitely has lost a lot of weight if you go back and look at photos of him from back in the day. Yeah. And even maybe that stint, with WWE, maybe he'll start like working out on more of a regular basis now based on the results that he had to put in to get in shape to do that run at SummerSlam last night. So, hopefully this will be something positive for him moving forward where he'll exercise more on a regular basis. And, maybe down the road, we'll see him drop another 50 or 100 pounds. Here we go, baby. All gas, no brakes, baby. Jacob Fatu. Samoan Werewolf, baby. Jacob, Fatu.
The first since 2001. Back in 1990, the Ultimate Warrior beat Rick Rude in 94.
Yeah, interesting mask choice. You would think if he's going to be wearing a mask, it would be more high end, to make it, a little bit better. Look like definitely one of the kind of cheaper, that didn't really look like a very expensive, Halloween mask and whatnot. Maybe could have come up with something a little bit better than that, but
Solo when Jacob Fatu was comfortable in the role of soldier. Unfortunately for Solo, Jacob Fatu outgrew the soldier's uniform and started making some battle plans of his own. His battle plans made it all the way to the United States Championship. However, Solo and his NXTs brought him back to the family.
and this is kind of the same thing with like Lyra and Becky. These guys have been kind of, battling it out and having this little rivalry. You got to be able to build up the storyline. And then we got 2 matches left after this. You got AJ Styles and Dom, and then the main event was Cena and Cody Rhodes. Big kick there to Jacob Fatu from Solo.
Solo Sikoa, he's really got to stop this high-octane style of offense with Jacob Fatu. Yeah, but everyone forgets that Solo Sikoa, the former street fighting champion of the Island, the former enforcer of the bloodline, this man is double top 2. He might not be as flashy as Jacob Fatu, but he is just as dangerous. No doubt, Jacob Fatu now going to mount Solo.
Big headbutts there by Jacob Fatu. I like the ring setup for everything being outside. Monitors up high above. Very unique look. Instead of being just, indoor, which we typically see, 95% of the time. Oh, big kick. Oh.
Jacob wants you live to look down upon him, expected to do medium tasks for him. Never really appreciated or respected Jacob. Now Solo splashing him into the cage. Solo secure. Goes Jacob Fatu better than anybody is. Any of us, he knows exactly how to control the Solo. Let's not forget Solo's pivot too. I mean, Jacob Fatu crossing the first shot in this rivalry really didn't work out for Fatu the way he thought it would. Oh, there's that set time by Solo Sikoa, who is now taken out. But the steel cage match favored Solo with Jacob. But this one, I would say it favors Solo Sikoa, but initially I would have said thanks to the fact that the MFTs cannot get involved. It was Fatu's match. I gave you everything. You know what, listen. Fatu is a massive weapon in this game.
Oh.
Need to be pointed in the correct direction. Solo was capable of doing
Lots of matches with stipulations, obviously. Not so much, obviously, with the first match with Io and Rhea Ripley and Naomi, but everything else since then, some kind of extra. But that was, that gives you that extra thing to look forward to, whether it be TLC or if no disqualifications or a cage match. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get those things always on a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown or an NXT. Solo, here's the boos from the crowd. 2.
Remember, Solo can walk out, okay, get the floor, he will win this cage match. That would just be like humiliating if that would happen this juncture. But Jacob Fatu holding on. Solo trying to drag him toward the door. Looked like it was going to be an easy victory for Solo Sikoa, which is an unthinkable result against someone as dangerous as Jacob Fatu. Now that's all been going the way of Solo Sikoa.
Solo giving Jacob Fatu the business here early, and obviously we know Fatu will have a run, and there'll be a little bit of back and forth. Just got to wait for Jacob Fatu to hulk up, get a few high-risk moves going. A little Samoan spike. Nice super kick there by Jacob Fatu. Oh, super kick back from Solo. Big clothesline there by Jacob Fatu. Yeah, Fatu is awesome. Out of everyone that's in WWE, he's one of the top 5. I feel like that are like the most exciting. That are wrestling for WWE right now. I mean, regardless of belt or no belt, like he's got the it factor. And then the thing that really separates him from everyone else is that as far as a big guy, he can do those high risk maneuvers like Io Sky. And how many, big guys can do moves that are high risk like Io and, Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton? Not many, let alone even if they're skinny or medium sized guys, not a lot can do them. So to be, a little bit thicker and to be able to do those high risk moves, that really puts Jacob Fatu in a category of a guy that we haven't really seen a guy like him, a Samoan type that can do those types of things, which is very cool. Fatu should get the push too. Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker would be interesting. I mean, it just kind of depends on the type that you want to be able to have. Solo's like, let me get in the corner so I can take this move. Nice little DDT there. Unbelievable, man. Do it again. I mean, you're never going to see another big man. Too incredible. I mean, and it's just like not only doing it once, doing it twice. It's like to see that bounce in his step for a big guy. I mean, pretty moonsault, man. Yeah, I mean, we already knew about him, a lot of us, before he actually got the contract here, but again, for anyone that wasn't really familiar with what he had to offer, all you got to see is have him do a moonsault once, and a lot of people will be sold. So, because like everyone else that's going to be like Samoan or his size is going to be kind of like Solo. They're just going to be kind of brawlers, and they're not going to do high risk. Oh, here we go. Here we got Jimmy coming out. Oh, big super kick. Oh, good camera shot right there. It almost looked like the cameraman was going to take that super kick. Yeah, 7 foot. Huge. Looking like the giant Gonzalez out there.
As Solo now tries to drag himself to the door. The door, so Jacob Fatu going to drag Solo back to the ring. That will Jacob Fatu. It's all good. He wants to punish Sakala. He wants the door locked. The NFT's out of here.
Damn, big spike. 2. Samoan test. It's crazy how many years Test has been gone for already. And all those crazy storylines with Test and Stephanie and everyone else back in the day. Solo trying to climb out of the cage. Fatu trying to meet him up at the halfway point.
Trying to scale the cage here. JC Mateo. Jacob Fatu trying to fight him down. And now it's Tonga scaling the cage. And he got Tonga Lowe's actually inside the cage. Tonga on the coast. He's got handcuffs. Tonga's got handcuffs. Oh, that is a genius. Oh, my goodness. Tonga coming. Jacob Fatu. The top of the steel cage. A steel cage match could be the tie to the top. And the problem is for Jacob, he's handcuffed to the top. He's got Solo Sikoa.
Fatu handcuffed towards the top here. Handcuffs didn't last too long. Yeah. Like you would assume like the only way to win would be to climb over the cage. You have to earn it, right? Like you have to be able to beat the opponent down so badly, but climbing out the front, it's like the easy, cheap way, I don't know about that ending. Solo's like, I'm too out of shape to go all the way over the top of the cage. Just let me go out through the door. Let me just fall out. That was kind of a weird ending there. Like, come on, Solo. You can climb the top and fall over.
Just like Solo Sikoa was heading for the entrance, JC Mateo both from Tonga Solo. Jacob Fatu catching a steel ball flush on the top of the head of incredibly grumpy. Solo Sikoa scrambles out to victory. Sikoa is still united.
I feel like that particular match, it had like some energy to it, but then it kind of just died there at the end, And it's not just a simple fact that Jacob Fatu didn't win. It's just, you're going to have Solo just kind of fall out of the ring, like that's the way that we want to end it like that. Like, I don't know, kind of a lackluster, kind of unappealing ending. Could have been better with the ending there. And maybe why we have this little extended beatdown after the ending. Oh shit, where are we going here? You going to the top? You crazy son of a bitch. Don't you dare. Dude, oh my goodness. You catch him. Catch him. Oh! That's my guy right there, baby. Wow. There we go. Now I feel a little bit better. Like, okay, I wanted him to win, but I kind of had a feeling he wasn't. You know, instead of Solo just falling out, you know, of the front door onto the mat, you know, kind of lazily. Little, you know, anytime you can see some good high risk moves, but because normally that's what you're going to remember with a lot of the matches, you know, the high risk that Jacob Fatu is going to do with the moonsaults and whatnot. I mean, even small guys would be afraid to do from that height, you know, and to be a bigger guy, even though, you know, you got a couple down there that could soften the blow and catch you. Well, at least that's the goal. Yeah. Seriously. He's like, we're both gonna take this, and then at the last second, he's like, no, you take it. Oh my. All right, we got 2 matches to go, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. You know, again, it's nice to be able to, you know, do something a little different, you know, than me doing, you know, fucking Mariners every single day for, you know, 29 or 30 days in a row. And it's good to be able to get like one day where we can just kind of relax and have fun and watch WWE and hope they put on a good show. And we got Dom and AJ Styles next. And then we're going to have the main event with Cena and Cody Rhodes. And then I'll be off tomorrow, spending time with my pup. And then we'll be back on Tuesday night for Mariners and White Sox. Looking forward to that. Yeah, that definitely a big boy to catch. Kevin Owens, yeah. I wish he wasn't hurt. Like, Kevin Owens is like the perfect person to be able to have as an opponent for like Solo, or, you know, obviously for him as well. Jacob Fatu. Lots of injuries in WWE right now. But a much better show from top to bottom than yesterday. You know, yesterday there was kind of some hit or misses, you know, but today it's been pretty solid. Triple Mania. They're going to have Dom be the face of AAA. I watched the last little event that they had, you know, a few weeks back when they had their Lucha Libre stuff that they did, and it was pretty fucking sweet. Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana. I'll watch them. Psycho Clown looking like Twisted Metal and Samoa Joe. New season of Twisted Metal dropped a couple days ago. They dropped the first 3 episodes. And obviously it's not going to be like one of those, you know, shows that gets like 100 from Rotten Tomatoes. You know, usually it'll be like in the 60s or 70s. But I think it's a good watch. And Samoa Joe is a pretty fucking good actor. You know, they talk about, you know, certain people, you know, Batista, and you've seen like The Rock and, you know, a few others, you know, try to dabble into Hollywood and whatnot. But Samoa Joe does a really, really good job in that particular show. And, you know, it wouldn't really surprise me if Samoa Joe does go into like, you know, movies and whatnot after WWE is and wrestling. He's done with that side of his life and career. But if anything is new, I usually try to tap in. So I've already watched, me and Odin already watched all 3 new episodes of Twisted Metal Season 2. We got King of the Hill tonight, you know, making its debut from 10, 15 years ago. animation slightly different, but Bobby is older as a chef and he's like in his 20s. So should be pretty fun. Looking forward to that. And obviously we got a lot of other shows in the near future that are going to be dropping, like as we get into the fall and winter. Obviously Stranger Things 5 will be amazing, and that'll definitely shut down the world, just like when GTA 6 comes out. That'll shut down the world for a little bit, and it'll be definitely fun when those things happen too. It's crazy how time flies, man. We're already into August. Pretty soon it's football season, and all of a sudden it'll be Halloween before you know it. Then it'll be Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then we're going to be already at the beginning of the new year, going into the college bowl games and going into the Super Bowl. Time really goes quick, once you hit like September. Like September to January is like it's like a blink of an eye, and if you don't pay attention, you'll miss. Yeah, Samoa Joe's in Twisted Metal. Yeah. And it's a little gory, not as much cheesiness, and some. I used to love Twisted Metal and still do to this day. Twisted Metal and 1 and Twisted Metal 2. Those games had so many memories created for me and such good replay value, but they did a pretty good, job with the show, and you'll recognize some of the actors that are in it and whatnot. Like Anthony Mackie is in it, and then a few other individuals are in it as well. Like in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the Latino girl that's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, she's in it as well.
You've been there, done that, and you're still here for more. So now that you're 50 or older and at increased risk for pneumococcal...
Stephanie Beatrice. Samoa Joe is Sweet Tooth. So, riding around in that like ice cream truck, and he's got the mask on, but he does an awesome job. Like, honestly, I think he's better than John Cena. Like, it's like him and Batista, I think, are the best actors that have come from the wrestling side. So Nev Campbell's in it. Will Arnett is in it. Anthony Mackie is in it. So they actually have a pretty good cast. Michael James Shaw. And then like in the first season, when you watch it, it only has a certain amount of characters. And then obviously in season 2, it starts opening up some of the other characters that you would play in the video game, because they obviously have to have the Twisted Metal tournament, with the cars and the missiles, and there's a little bit of gore and fighting and whatnot in it and whatnot. They did a pretty good job, and to me, it's an easy watch. It's not going to be something that everyone will probably love, but again, if you used to play the video games and you like some of those people that I mentioned, you'll like the show. So, but me and Odin usually watch it whenever it drops. So, all right, Dom making his way to the ring. Appreciate your reefer with a 50. Thank you so much, man. And again, for all the people that are showing love, obviously this will help towards Paisley's dog food and just like the streaming fee and the internet bill, just the basic stuff that I need to keep going. And I'm gonna have to get Paisley some food probably within like a week. So this will definitely help. I appreciate it a lot. Appreciate you. Stacks, Racks with the little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much, man. And it's always fun that, when we can get a chance to hang out, once a month or once every, couple months. We didn't get to do the last PLE because it was kind of a weird time. And I know you and Odin were a little busy. Odin had internet problems with his internet connection. So it was in briefly, dropped a dono, and he's been messaging me and whatnot. But, anytime you end up having an issue with your internet or your phone or something, or the computer, unfortunate. I know that he would have liked to be able to kind of chop it up with you too and everyone in the room. It's Dom time, baby. And it's crazy, like how you can go from a short hair face with your dad, right, Rey Mysterio, and then you go heel, and just to see the, and obviously bringing him into the faction to groom him was perfect. And then now, is a bona fide star. And when it's all said and done, Rey is always going to be, probably maybe more well known, based on his career. But at the end of the day, as far as like titles and legacy, he might be able to catch up to Ray and even surpass him, gold wise. And that's pretty cool. AJ Styles coming out in the lowrider. It's like Eddie Guerrero. But today's been a good day. Mariners won. SummerSlam has been super exciting. And again, they could have made it just one night, but like Reefer mentioned earlier and a lot of others, right? As he does the little Eddie. Obviously it's all about money, but again, a lot of those matches they had yesterday, they didn't really need to have those on SummerSlam. They could have had some of those on like Raw or SmackDown, but obviously if you can make more money and make it a 2-day thing rather than a 1-day thing, it's like doubling your profits. So I get it. Troll AJ. Yeah, I agree. He's got the Eddie Guerrero vibe. Paying homage to Eddie and I like the ring gear, man. It's like the only time you're going to see AJ Styles wear gear like that. But it actually kind of looks good on him. Like sometimes there's certain ring gear that doesn't like really look good or match the wrestler. But, AJ's always had the athleticism, kind of came into WWE late in his career, could have been in there, earlier. But obviously short hair AJ Styles in his early career, in different federations compared to when he got the, mustache and the beard and the longer hair. And, sometimes you got to grow out your hair, same thing with Dom, right? Sometimes you need to go from face to heel. And, once you end up, finding that right, persona and character, then it's pretty much an, all go from that point moving forward. So Styles heat.
Championship 16 times at SummerSlam. The Intercontinental title has changed hands. Will that happen again tonight? Maybe not one of the great battles in this title over the years. SummerSlam 88, alternate Warrior.
I mean, besides, obviously like Lucha Libre wrestlers wearing gear like that, that type of gear is something I could see definitely Seth Rollins wearing too. Certain wrestlers have a certain vibe that can, and we know Seth and Becky sometimes will just wear anything, right? But I'm really liking the color combo that they got going on, and I think it's a great choice. Doing the whole troll version and trying to do Eddie, but just having the yellow and black with the boots to match the blue, purple, and then the yellow flames at top. It's like whoever was the designer of the gear, give them a raise. Because you don't usually see things like really, play so smoothly together like that ring gear right there. Especially for ring gear that's not your own, that you're kind of trolling. It's probably the best troll gear you'll ever see. Incredible. And then the subtle styles and that font on the back of the pants. I like it. Ooh. What a kick there by Dom. I love the gear, dude. Ooh. And obviously Dom, has the look with his little vest, and that could always turn into, that's a crossbody. And you could always make that into like a boned version as well. Even though it kind of looks like spider webs or kind of a bone, version and whatnot with the spine and then, like the ribs and whatnot. But, Dom could always go a skeleton version too. I mean, even though it already kind of is, it's like a variation of that. But Dom has come such a long ways in a short period of time. Short hair Dom, you know, not worth watching, but now, you know, just in a few years later and going heel and growing his hair out. And obviously having the story with Liv was perfect, you know, getting him more, you know, time in the spotlight. Shout out to Liv. Hopefully she'll recover and not have any setbacks. Hell yeah, bro. You're rocking the mullet, dude. Short in the front, party in the back. Wifey is not happy, but Reefer is happy. Channeling in his inner Dom at home and at work and with the kids. He's like, I am Dom. Oh, what nice tornado DDT there by AJ Styles. Nice sell by Dom. How long do you plan? How long do you plan on growing it out? Or like, are you gonna grow it out? Like, are you trying to like grow it out like Dom? Like, are you going that length, or is it already that length right now, or is it just like the beginning stages? Sounds like you've been growing it out for a little bit. You grew it to your shoulder. Nice. If you want to go Dom length, you gotta go a little bit more. Like back to the shoulder blades. Wifey would love that. What do your kids think about it? Your kids love it? You're like, I'm doing this for Dom, baby. What do your kids think of it? Oh, she made you cut it. You'll be sleeping and she'll just be cutting it while you're sleeping. He'll never know. A little Pele kick by AJ. Glancing blow.
Still to this 26 years, phenomenal forearm. Dominic ducks underneath. AJ goes up to the apron.
Michinoku driver. Let's fucking go. Channeling in his inner Taka Michinoku. Your boys didn't care, but your little girl liked it. That's good. Hell yeah, man. And I feel it's like one of those things too, like not everyone can like pull it off, like long hair, and not everyone can pull off the bald head either. You know, it's like you got to have the right body shape and head shape for, you know, for that particular look to be fully pulled off and whatnot. But nice brain buster by AJ. Oh, you got the wavy? Even better, bro. And I appreciate you with your support. And with this, that puts us at 85, 15 to go to hit the goal. Appreciate you very much. Nice drop kick there by Dom. And obviously both of these wrestlers are fun to watch. Little counter there by AJ. And then after this match, we'll have the main event with Cena and Cody Rhodes, and that'll be the end of the PLE. But I definitely enjoyed this weekend. Night one could have been a little bit better, but obviously looking at the card, we already knew that. But night two is definitely delivered. I mean, a couple subtle things could have been a little bit better with Becky and Lyra, and obviously with Solo and Jacob Fatu, especially the ending there and whatnot. But at least we ended up getting some high risk maneuvers by Fatu at the end, even after he lost.
Back on as Dominic now has a steel chair in hand. That was the trap. He struck the referee with the turnbuckle and then pops with the steel.
Oh, baby. Pulling an Eddie. Yes, I love it. Vintage Eddie. I love it. Oh man, I miss Eddie so much, man. He would always pull off stuff like that, and anything that Eddie did, whether he was with China and did the whole Latino heat, or he was definitely one of the best of all time. Great memories of Eddie. Sometimes even going back and watching some throwback stuff. Good old Eddie Guerrero. It's cool to be able to see his legacy still being tributed, and loved even to this day, years after he's been gone. But he had that type of impact, He'll always be a fan favorite for years to come. Oh, calf crusher action.
The boot has come loose. Styles just cut the boot loose, and Dominic's going. Dirty Dominic's going to survive because Dominic just pulled the boot off. It's tough to compete.
Styles pulling the boot off. Boot to the face. Here we go, Dom. Give me that 5-star frog splash, baby. There it is. There we go. Everybody retaining so far in this SummerSlam night number 2. And now we're down to our last match. John Cena and Cody Rhodes coming up next.
Championship here tonight. Dirty Dominic Mysterio somehow surviving with the gold intact. Hey, this replay is brought to you by Wingstop. Wingstop is here. A lot of Eddie Guerrero references tonight, including this move. Dirty Dom pulling one out of Eddie's playbook, but AJ Styles is ready. Chicken and simple. 2 can play a good game. Referee. Well, we both thought that it could be the end one way or another, but the referee didn't fall for it. Let's fight on the fascinating. Wait a minute. This is early. Look at Dominic Mysterio actually opened his boot and rolling up. It was a game plan from the incredible Dirty Dom Mysterio loosened the boot, knowing full well he was going to bait AJ Styles into attending the calf crusher. Oh my! What a genius Dirty Dominic's! It was strategic.
Dom with the strategy. I love it.
This kid is so smart and so good. He may be unstoppable.
Crazy improvement from Dom from a couple years ago to now. Definitely the most improved wrestler. Like in the early stages, you know, he kind of had to try to play it off, but now it's like for real and legit. Awesome. All right, we're down to the main event here shortly. John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
WWE Survivor Series San Diego. Tickets on sale now. Next Sunday on WWE LFG. It's going to be sink or swim. As the coaches at the sideline, we're all in agreement and talk. This is going to be really good. The future greats take charge. It's not.
You run your mouth, and I'll let my game do the talking.
And no safety. I believe him, Mark. Anything can happen.
I knew with her voice something was wrong.
WWE LFG next Sunday, 10, 9 Central, only on A&E. Wheatley American Vodka is for hardworking people with true American spirit. People who never was mailed in. People who rise to the occasion. Men and women who know how to get the job. When the day is over, nothing's better than celebrating something truly American. And we're at MetLife Stadium. Heading toward our main event, Cody Rhodes and John Cena. It is absolutely gorgeous early August night. He's left for clear and 75 degrees.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome WWE icon Stephanie
All right, Stephanie McMahon. Main event time, baby. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this will play out.
Everybody having a good time tonight. I have the honor of announcing tonight's attendance, and that is 60,561 people here tonight. We were last night, and tonight we get a total of 113,722 people, making this the biggest SummerSlam in history.
It also helps that you had 2 days to do it instead of just one day. Now, if the card would have been better for night number one, it, you know, could have been better. But essentially, that means we made more money. Any predictions, Reefer, on how this is going to play out? Does Cody get the belt? Do we get a heel turn, a face change? It'll be interesting to see where this goes. Does Cena go face? Does Cody go heel? Do we get a belt change? Do we actually get Cody winning? Or are they just going to keep it with Cena all the way to the end of the year? Like, does Cena ever lose the belt and then get it back before the year is over? Or do they let him hang on to it until the very end? That match was just utter fucking chaos. One of the best TLC matches of all time. And again, when you, that set right there, that was insane. But to be able to have 12 wrestlers in a TLC, oh my God. Candice LeRae. Oh my God.
And much more of this to come as soon as SummerSlam wraps as we head out to the post show, hosted by the great Joe Test, and of course tomorrow SummerSlam recap with Megan Moran and Sam.
Cena on Friday.
A Weekly American Vodka and the WWE are proud to be joined tonight by Staff Sergeant Luis Martinez Jr.
I was doing Mariners, so I didn't get a chance to watch SmackDown and whatnot. So you want to give me a quick update on what happened on SmackDown? It's main event time. And it's like with Dom, you're seeing him get better and better and better. Like, once he first started, growing the hair out and then having the, pairing up with Liv, like it seemed like he was, trying to play a role, but still wasn't really comfortable in his own skin and, this new role for him. But again, after, the Judgment Day, not having Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, it gave kind of an opportunity for him to be the one that shines the most. And he's definitely taken the reins with that. And, every match that you watch, it seems like he just gets better, more confident, more smoother in the ring with his moves, channeling in a little inner Eddie. And again, he has improved so dramatically, from, last year to this year, a couple years ago to now. I can only wait to on what may to come, down the road for him. Lots of gold in his future, that's for sure. And not just because, Ray is his dad. Like, you can tell, he's earned it. He's got the skill set. Thank Cody for forcing him into the match. Yeah. Yeah, and the whole Rock and Travis Scott thing, it would have worked if they would have showed up every Raw and every PLE after they originally showed up and acted like the NWO and just jumped everyone and beat everyone up. And then if we would have gotten the NWO kind of vibe, then everything would have worked out perfectly. But, just to be able to have them show up and then never come back. And then all of a sudden Travis Scott comes back kind of randomly a little bit later, but you don't really see the final boss, you don't see The Rock. And so it was, it was definitely an opportunity that they could have really capitalized on it, but maybe they thought that they didn't want to overshadow Cena's run by having these other people involved in it because it's his retirement tour. But they definitely dropped the ball, because again, if they were going to go that route with what happened, with The Rock and Travis Scott, they should have saved it for WrestleMania. And then also, if they knew that it was just going to be a one-time thing, they should have never done it, and then there wouldn't have been the whole backlash after. So take the belt home with them.
A year after I quit smoking, I was diagnosed
Yeah.
with peripheral artery disease.
It wouldn't shock me if Cena goes face before he leaves, at one point. But again, is it right now that we're getting that, or is that just an act? We'll have to kind of wait and see. And that's what makes it kind of interesting, because if Cena would have never went heel, this last year of matches, I don't think would be that intriguing. And Cena goddamn well knows, obviously with the promos and whatnot, nobody's forgetting Cena. Cena's one of those guys that's like CM Punk and a few others. Whether you love them or you hate them, you're never going to forget. They were a big part of wrestling, and they always will be, It's going to be very interesting to see how the run, plays out. And we obviously know John Cena is great on the microphone, right? I mean, he can do a face promo, a heel promo. I mean, he has been one of, You know, even though his wrestling style may not be for everyone, you know, some people think he can't wrestle. He can wrestle, but it's just a different type that may not suit everyone.
The following is a story for the undisputed.
Yeah, and it's not very many guys that could be cheered and booed in the same promo like Cena, you know, but when you're an icon and you're a legend, you know, pretty much the guy that was taking over the reins, you know, after, you know, every person ends up having their run, you know, whether it's Hogan or Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart or Stone Cold or The Rock, Cena, like, you know, you end up having these certain guys that run the company, Roman, and you'll never forget them. You know, you have to have kind of a face of the company. I have some early John Cena merch from his early run when he came in, and when he went to Seattle. You know, they had the different headbands and the towels and the wristbands, and I actually have a wristband and a headband still in the plastic in the original. You know, from the early 2000s, purple when they went to Seattle. Don't really have a whole lot of Cena merch, but I decided to get that because I figured if I don't get it at this point, you know, I probably should, as we have Cody Rhodes making his entrance here. So, Reefer, in your opinion, if he does go face now, is he face the rest of the way until he exits on December 31st or, you know, the end of the year? Or is there going to be a back and forth with the face heel type stuff until we get him to exit? What do you think? So we needed a Jacob Fatu mask that looked like that instead of like a Dollar Tree Halloween costume mask for Fatu. One of the best themes in wrestling. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, heel Cody is the best Cody. You know, obviously Cody as a face is, you know, he's carried the company, you know, as a face, just like, you know, Sting did for WCW before he ended up going heel with the NWO and the Wolfpack. But I feel like if you're a talented wrestler, you know, you're always going to get the best version, you know, in the heel. You have Hulk Hogan, but Hollywood was something else, you know, and it just feels like if you go heel, you know, again, it'll be interesting to see how the crowd reacts, you know, if he does go. But I think heel Cody could be a very, very must-see TV. So if they go Cena face and Cody heel, I don't mind that. And it's kind of cool to be able to see Cena, you know, as champ, kind of go through each, you know, opponent, you know, and being able to kind of see, you know, what we're getting from, you know, whoever it may be, like a Randy Orton or CM Punk or a Cody Rhodes or, you know, however, you know, they're going to be going down all of these checklists, you know, for him to be able to make his final farewell here in 2025.
Enjoy your summer by grabbing an American Mule today. Weekly, the official vodka of WWE. Please enjoy responsibly.
Yeah, Roman Reigns. You know, it's kind of crazy how like Roman and the bloodline, you know, had a stranglehold on wrestling. And for a while we were like, gosh, can we just get somebody to beat, you know, Roman? Can Cody finally do it? And then like as you reflect now after, you know, some time has passed, new bloodline, the old bloodline, and all the other stuff in between, I kind of miss Roman, you know, in the spotlight with the bloodline, you know, like I don't, and with Sammy, like that was a very special time in wrestling where, you know, I think that all of us got to a point where maybe it was a little played out, but then now as you look back, it's like, God, I kind of miss those moments. There we go. John Cena. Coming out as a face based on his mannerisms and, you know, and obviously body language and the way that, you know, you're going about this. And then we will find out if this is the ultimate swerve, if he's pretending and he'll stay heel, or if he actually did turn face and is going to be face the rest of the way. Because we've already been anticipating Cody going heel at some point this year. So I guess if we get it right here and Cena goes face the rest of the way for the last few months and Cody goes heel. But then the real question is, if that's the case and Cena's a face now and Cody's going to be a heel, who wins the belt? Is Cody win here today, or does he have to wait for like a rematch in December and then win it then? Yeah, I mean, obviously, based off the mannerisms and the way that he came out, you know, there's a certain way that he comes out as a face and as a heel, and obviously, this is exactly how he would come out as a face. So Cody's losing and turning heel, and then they have a rematch in December, and then Cody wins the belt. Yeah. Yeah.
Introducing first, the challenger from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 222 pounds, the American
Good mix of cheers and boos for Cody Rhodes. Most of the time, it's more cheers and boos, but you're going to get Cena.
Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing at 251 pounds. He is the greatest of all time. But never seen 17 here tonight at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think that we're all thinking that, right?
The last real
Rock showing up, yeah. So just Cena just keeps winning no matter what, whoever he goes against, and then he just leaves with the belt. And then what do they do? Do they create a new one, like with a new color scheme and whatnot, or a new design after Cena retires? Like, what do we do then at that point? Do they come up with a new design for the Undisputed Championship after Cena retires and takes the belt with him? All right, here we go.
It seemed like the old John Cena is back, much like he proclaimed Friday Night on SmackDown.
It's like the guy that's been holding the face roll down, right? And then the guy that was the face for 20 plus years that did this heel turn. And then now they're going to flip and go back to being face. And then Cody getting to be a heel. But we haven't really seen Cody go heel. So again, and I think that he'd be great at it. I mean, if you're a good wrestler, it doesn't really matter. You could be Randy Orton. You could be Seth Rollins. You could be Roman Reigns. You know, if, you know, you can pull it off either face or heel. But I feel like you'll have more memorable moments when you typically go heel. You get like the best version of that wrestler because you get to be a little bit more edgy, a little bit more of a shit talker. You can be a little bit more extra on the microphone when you're a heel. Be a little bit more bad, edgy, extreme.
This is a street fight, though. Watching the rules, the standard rules is not only allowed, it's encouraged. So Cody, when you
Cena does the honorable thing, gives up the belt. I could definitely see something like that happening. Yeah, but again, you know, for a lot of us that have been watching wrestling for, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you have had some pretty good predictions that have come true. I usually can do that on the baseball, basketball, football, hockey side, as well as wrestling. But, you got a pretty good pulse. And even though you're not in the back with the riders, I mean, you've come up with some pretty good predictions that have come true too. So.
don't seem to do anything wrong tonight because all bets are off. Don't see it fucking up there. Usually the
I think the real question is it, do we get a run in the match?
Looking at something here for Cody. Again, Cena won the championship WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes.
I mean, you almost would have to have The Rock show up to have a similar type of ending to yesterday's show, with Seth Rollins faking the injury and cashing in on CM Punk after he won after 5 minutes. Just kind of sucks that they dropped the ball, or, maybe Rock was too busy with other projects and whatnot, but I guess sometimes you don't get what you want in wrestling, right? Sometimes you have to pivot, based on, people's schedules and maybe even, the guys in the back, the creative control. Sometimes you can't just do what the fans want you to do all the time. And sometimes with injuries and other things, you have something lined up and, you have to change.
Very dangerous situation here. And Cena,
Jesus. Oh my God. That was kind of stiff. Jesus. Cody's like, you're going to fracture my wrist, bud. Cody going, doing the film stuff. They definitely have been going extreme with the props, in this particular PLE. Weapons galore. TLC, tables, ladders, chairs, handcuffs, you name it, they've used it. Zip ties. Two. Guile and Street Fighter. Full Homelander. I'm looking forward to The Boys. I know they're done filming. I think that comes out next year. That might be the only thing like really worth, must-see TV on Prime and whatnot. There's nothing like The Boys either. Like as far as like superhero type of, shows, I've never seen anything like it. And it's insane. Like so entertaining. Like they did a fantastic job, for doing something that's not like Marvel or DC related. And to me, it's more entertaining than those. Definitely will be watching The Boys. It's going to be awesome. Great writing, great cast, great gore. Homelander, man, insane. And I know a lot of people have seen like the Homelander like memes and whatnot, but I think some people have never even seen the show, so they don't really understand what it means, when they see that. But if you watch the show, you'll 100% understand why that meme makes sense whenever it's used. Cody with the chair. Yeah, Homelander is must-see TV, dude. Yeah.
Cody sets one. Smart move by Cody. He's at the chair fly. Now uses the upper chair to his advantage.
Is it just me, or are all of the moves with the props being used a little bit more stiffer in this PLE? Like sometimes back in the day, you would see someone be like, just like gently, like almost not believable, like hit somebody with the chair. It's like, if you want to hit someone, you got to at least make it somewhat believable on the way that you're swinging it and then the way that it hits the body. Today, it seems like, they're just going full force, which I, appreciate, when you can actually get people that are going all out to make it look as believable as possible, even if it isn't a standard, table or chair or ladder, or if it's been pre-cut like that ladder that Candice LeRae went into. You could definitely see the pre-cut, areas there as Cody goes into the corner, into the chair. Nice move by Cena. Nice little shoulder check by Cena. Yeah, no one could have played that role better, Finlay. Nobody. 2. Like, all you have to do is watch like season 1, episode 1, and you're hooked. All you got to do is watch one episode and you're like, oh my God, this show is awesome. Great idea too, to have like superheroes that kind of just do whatever the fuck they want, and whatnot. Some will be good, but some will do whatever they, want to do, whether it's good or not. Like, brilliant concept. Kind of crazy that we haven't had someone do that prior to then, but you also have to have good writing and a good cast. 2. And it has to be a little, gory and whatnot. And they hit every single check mark and, checked off every box in that show. It's kind of refreshing seeing Cena as a face again, coming out as a face. And again, it's like, I think that we would have liked the heel turn if it would have went like NWO with Rock and Travis Scott, and if they would have went that route instead of him just doing it the way that he wanted to. But I am ready for a Cody heel turn, though. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but am I the only one that misses Roman? Like, again, like he has such an aura. And again, yeah, I know he was in the spotlight for such a long time, years and years and years. But, sometimes when something is really, really good and then maybe you take it for granted and then, they're out of the spotlight for a minute and then you see kind of the landscape of where WWE is at the moment, which isn't bad, but I still miss seeing Roman in the bloodline a little bit. Never thought I would say that after, the run was so long, but. Two. And it's not like the Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed era it's not like that's not good. It's just different, Yeah. Or even the opening scene when oh boy loses his girlfriend when the one superhero ends up going past her and then he loses his girlfriend there, and then you just kind of go from there based on like what the special effects are going to look like. Oh wow. 2. Great pile driver, but good sell by Cena, and also good hand strength by Cena to make sure that they had the good, because again, you don't want to, have your neck bounce off. We've seen quite a few wrestlers back in the day have issues with their vertebrae and their neck, and you got to make sure that you don't have too much bounce back from the top of your head into that mat, even though there's a little bit of give there and a little bit of bounce. Yeah, but special effects in that show, incredible. Cena is down. Cody trying to pull him up to his feet. Cena with the fake. Little AA. Cena had to hulk up for those 5 seconds to fool Cody Rhodes. We better get The Rock coming out if someone comes out, not Travis Scott. But obviously, if Cena is face now, there's no point of having really any of those individuals involved besides maybe The Rock. Working with Cody now, not with Cena. If that were to be the case. But like if Rock shows up, what is he going to do? He's just going to show up today and then just disappear the rest of the year? It's like, I'm going to sell my soul to you, The Rock. And that's what Cody says. And then all of a sudden you see him and there's like, the alliance is there. And then The Rock just never shows up again. Yeah, WWE is done with him now. That time has come and gone since they're not using his music as the theme anymore. They're like, we've used this angle up already. Nice sit-down powerbomb. 2. Oh, Cena with a counter. A little STF action. Cody grabs the ropes. And we're going to, whether you're a fan of Cena or not, you love him or you hate him, when he's gone, it's going to feel different. Again, we're getting to a point where a lot of the people that, we, watched for quite some time, it's going to be a weird moment when, when Randy ends up walking away as well. Because obviously, if you remember, Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista came in at the same time and around that Brock Lesnar time as well. And obviously, we don't see Brock on TV anymore. Batista's doing, obviously, Hollywood and doing movies. And Cena's almost on the way out. Randy may have a few more years. But just like in sports, LeBron will be out the door pretty soon in a few years. And it's definitely going to be kind of a transitional moment in sports and wrestling when you start seeing these GOATs that are no longer participating in their respective business. Cena, let's go! Bro, he's pulling out all the stops. Like back in the day, they said that he couldn't wrestle, right? And then he purposely would do moves that no one said that he could do. And here's another like kind of throwback to fast forward moment. saying, hey, you don't think I can actually wrestle? I can. I just choose not to do some of the moves that you don't think I can do. That was awesome. Fucking love it. Yeah, I agree. I love Cena pulling out all the stops. I fucking love it. I mean, anytime you can see, destroyers or moves that are just like not in that typical wrestler's repertoire, and they pull it off like perfectly, it's awesome. Look at this. Cena, you can't see me. Oh! Okay. It's funny, like how much more entertaining Cena is when he wrestles as a face than as a heel, you know. I mean, I still will love John Cena with the Thugonomics as my favorite, like heel, version of him with the Mitchell and Ness jerseys and the chain and the rap, kind of battle raps and whatnot that he would do. But this is much better than if we would have seen the heel Cena wrestling today, in my opinion. I like what I'm seeing. And obviously with Cody Rhodes being a face or a heel, you're really not going to see too much of a difference, you would think, until we see Cena Cody Rhodes go heel. And if he changes up, some of his moveset or, his approach, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, this match is cooking, but again, if we would have had, this Cody who's face, maybe going heel, and then Cena as a heel, I think it would be much slower and not as entertaining like some of the matches that Cena has had as a heel. But when you go Cena as a face, and you get back to that version that we all kind of love, and then he ends up sprinkling in some stuff that you never thought he would do, then you're really cooking, and that's what we're getting right now. Crossroads. 2. Yeah, Cena does look energized as well. And obviously part of it is, you're playing a role, as a heel to be kind of, I'm a heel, I'm dark, I'm going to be evil, this is who I am, like I'm playing this role as an asshole and I'll do whatever the hell I want to do. And I don't care about you, but then when you're going to talk that way, we still wanted the same type of wrestler. But unfortunately, not only did we get different verbiage, that the wrestling kind of vibe changed and it wasn't really as entertaining. But this Cena, this is definitely giving a little bit of a, that juice that maybe that all of us wanted, maybe even including him. And I think all along we all knew that Cena was going to go heel at least for a month before he exited. But, was it going to be 1 month in December, or was it going to be multiple months where we might get it from here the rest of the way, which would probably be good. Like we've already seen like half of the year as a heel and we get the other half as a face. But definitely the match is cooking on a better level with the Cena approach and the change. Oh, Cena. What a move by John. Hey. 2. What's going to happen? What are we getting? Are we going to get an official heel turn from Cody? Do we get The Rock coming out? I mean, obviously we assume Cena is going to win the belt or still keep the belt and retain. And there's no belt change if there's DQ. And this has been one of the more entertaining matches in 2025 from Cena. Not to say that the heel turn was a failure. It's just not really what us fans expected once it happened. And then obviously the Rock, not following through, and that whole storyline, they fumbled the bag with all of that. But nothing like a Slim Jim table. Seriously. It's a little ridiculous to have stickers on the chairs and the ladders, but I guess that's the era that we're living in. And we know Vince McMahon is a terrible human being, but one thing about Vince that was good, he would never allow all of these goddamn advertisements on the turnbuckles and ring aprons and all this shit. He wanted to keep that history the same. And then if you wanted to do the advertisements outside of the ring, fine. But there were certain things that were, a no-no. And I think that might be the only thing positive about Vince that you might be able to say. Nice little DDT there by Cody. I don't know. It just looks so cheesy, with the stickers on there and whatnot. It's like they're trying way too hard, but I guess that's how it goes when money is involved. If they know they can get money, they're going to do it. They'll sell their soul for money, and they obviously have, and they will continue to do so. But what's next? We're going to get branding on wrestling gear. Like you're going to see Pepsi and, Coca-Cola on Cody's tights at some point or another. Is that where we're going? John Cena is going to have a Home Depot patch on his jorts. I mean, are we going down that path? Just like in NFL, MLB, NHL, and NBA? Or is that the next step? Wouldn't surprise me. Like when is the cutoff point? The ring gear? All right, we're going into the crowd, baby. I didn't know if we were going to get this. I was hoping they would go into the crowd for like at least a couple minutes, but Cena's like, I don't want that beer. Pepsi proudly brings to you John Cena. McDonald's, John Cena's loving it. Plus, I think deep down, Cena loves the, support. It's a lot probably funner for him to be able to hear the cheers and feeling like a hero, on his way out, instead of people booing him for this role that he's just doing as a heel that may not even being able to gut the same message that he wanted when he went, heel. But I imagine he probably had an idea how people would react. So. But this is definitely the most energy and swagger vibe we've seen out of John all year in 2025. Oh, nice suplex. And it's been really awesome to see Cody's growth, as one of the faces of the company and the main face after Cena. And it definitely has held that role down perfectly. Great PLE. And I'm happy that I was able to kick it with you guys. I know Mariner fans were probably wanting me to, do the Mariner game. But again, it's like out of 162 games, I'm going to be doing like 155. There's only going to be a couple that I miss, once a month for a PLE. So they'll live. Where are we going? Underneath the ring? Are they going to come through the opening there? Is that where they're going to come through? Got some smoke. Here we go. They're coming out like the Undertaker with some smoke here. Who's in there? Snoop Dogg? Cena. Cody on shoulders. That's wild, bro. They definitely put it, and I love those little subtle details of these like extra things that they do. You know, you've never seen them go under the stage like that before. That was kind of cool. Oh, Jesus. Dude, they are just so rough today. And I love it, man. It's like a lot of times they're just, little chops and, they're, not giving you like the full effect. I don't know if I've seen more stiff moves done. And, it's not like Sheamus is in this, or Drew McIntyre or some of these other guys or Gunther, that are just punching and kicking and chopping to the maximum. Like, they've been very, very overly aggressive today. A very entertaining SummerSlam night number 2, one of the best.
Ultimate farmer's war for you strongman enthusiasts, and this is this deep into an arduous street fight. Cena marches all the way down the ramp to the ring.
He's like, get in there. It's like, you're heavy. Almost have to make me change my jorts. Get in there, John. Oh. Wow. Crossroads. Got to do multiple, though. 2. All right, we're coming down to the end here. Less than 5 minutes, more than likely. Could be a couple minutes. We're getting down to the end. Will we have a run-in? And what kind of ending are we going to get here? And it's been fast-paced, and you can't say that for every John Cena match. But a much better version, seeing this energized face Cena. If this was heel Cena still, this match would nowhere be near the same type of excitement. Not even close. Yeah, for real, right? Big chair shot. Holy cow. Yeah. They're definitely making up for Mania.
Only interested in the biggest of challenges. Well, you got it tonight, Cody, didn't you? Can you finish the job? The ropes down. Who's hitting the bottom ropes here? Cody Rhodes with an exposed turnbuckle.
Cody's like, enema. Cody doing the whole Cena thing with the belt. This is where I'm going evil. I'm going Luke Skywalker to Darth Vader. He said, I'm going dark. And this is definitely kind of unique too, because when's the last time you've seen somebody do something like this? Like never, right? And it's always cool to be able to see something you've never seen before. And you got to think, if wrestling's been around for, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, you know, and obviously WWE not that long, but just wrestling in general. But, you know, to be able to see something new that you haven't seen, you know, even if it's a prop. I wonder whose idea was to use the turnbuckle like this. Like, who's giving the input on this? I'm going to choke you like Rudolph. I'm Santa. I'm going to choke you. Oh, here we go. Nice counter. He's like, I'll choke you too. Wrap you like a gift. Dude, so many crazy things in this. But you got to make sure that metal piece doesn't get jammed in somewhere. Especially if it ends up bouncing up and hitting somebody. He's like, get that turnbuckle fucking out of here. Oh, crossroads. There's one. You got to do multiple. You got to do like 3. There's 1. There's 2. And where's the 3rd one? Trifecta. Two. Super Cena versus Homelander. Sponsored by McDonald's. John Cena's loving it. Well, obviously, if Cena, if you know, if Cody can't win with a triple, then he's not winning. And obviously, if it goes, is this no DQ or what? I mean, obviously, the props are being used and whatnot, so. I mean, because of course, if Cena's going to lose, you know, at any point, you know, obviously it would have to be something, you know, like that. Not just one, but it would have to be like 3 in a row, you know, something that, you know, kind of makes a statement and whatnot. But then if you get up from that, then of course, you know, it's like Hulk, you know, back in the day, hulking up. Like you can get some damage done, but if you end up getting the best of what that other person has and you kick out, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. There we go. Cody trying to use the belt like Cena did when he was a heel. Here we go. AA, double AA, do 3 AAs. 2 AAs. How about one more? No? Yes? Yes? His way? 2 AAs. And what, an AA from the top? Here we go. Oh, baby. Here we go. Oh, wow. Like we thought for sure it was over. Wow. Great match, man. Great fucking match. So you get 3 crossroads, 2 AAs, and then you get a super AA off the fucking top. Man. I mean, the writers really know how to deliver, at least, you know, and they're not going to be able to do this with every main event, you know, but this one, man, creative control, definitely hit this one right on the head. And it's been a minute where we've seen a main event like this in 2025. Like we've seen main events, but I'm not sure like this. Cinema.
Cena and Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship.
Cena and Rhodes. Got to get that Slim Jim table. I wish Macho Man was still alive. He'd just love the whole Slim Jim thing. That might be the only time that it's appropriate if Macho Man was still alive and wrestling. Then I might not care about the ladders and the chairs and the tables with it on there. Oh, Jacob, it's insane. One of the best pay-per-views of the year, hands down, period. PLE. Premium Live Event. And they definitely went over the time. Usually it's about 3 hours and 30 minutes. That was yesterday. We're already 7 minutes over than the normal expected end time. So Super AA into the table. Uh-oh. Wow.
Collapses out of the ropes. Cody's body is not cooperating, but he has his bearings. That's all that can be said for John Cena. Cody's back to his feet. He's stalking his opponent. Cody Rhodes looking to put John Cena away one more time. In a final salute. The greatest of all time.
Oh, big crossroads. Wow, Cody wins. See, that's why I was thinking that, I know we thought that Cena would win, all the way to the end and either lose at the end or take the belt with him or give it up. But I just had this weird feeling that at the beginning, like I mentioned, I kind of had this weird feeling that Cody would actually have a chance to win. Wow. But then what does that mean for John Cena the rest of the way? Does he get a chance to get the belt back before he leaves? Or is his title run over in 2025? What are we talking about, Jacob? Are you talking about the Seahawks? Or are you talking about Mariners? Mariners, yes. Seahawks, no. It's a rebuilding year for the Seahawks. They won't make it. It would be shocking. I mean, you'd have to have massive injuries by the Niners and the Rams, to make it. So, Mariners, yeah, we're making it for sure. We're a World Series contender, bro. We're going to have a chance to take over the Astros in the AL West. It's Mariners, Astros, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, and Tigers, so we're definitely in the mix. I mean, who knows? Maybe we go to the ALDS, maybe ALCS. Who knows? Maybe it's a World Series year for us. I mean, we're deep, especially picking up Naylor and Gino back. So many questions instead of answers. So Cody wins, where probably only like 10% of the people thought that could be a possibility. Obviously, Cena goes face, and we haven't really seen Cody really make the full heel switch up, just yet. I mean, it feels like it's starting to get there, but like, what happens from here on out? What matchups are we getting moving forward? And does Cena get the belt back again one more time before retiring, or no? Like, where do we go here? Feel like we have way more questions than answers. Like this type of ending is something that I thought that you'd see like maybe in December Like they would fight each other at the end, and then Cena, would walk off, into history, and then Cody's reign would start in December. That's kind of what I was thinking. But again, WWE always has a swerve or a pivot, and you never can really fully predict what's going to happen. Not like in the Vince McMahon era where it was more predictable. In this Triple H era, you can't predict fucking anything. I don't care if you've been watching wrestling for fucking 40 years. You cannot predict everything anymore in WWE. That's facts. Seth cashed in on Cody instead of Punk. Oh, yeah. Do we get Cena and Cody one more time before Cena retires, or is that it? Do we get to see this matchup again, or is that it? No run-ins. That was an amazing Cena performance. Even with the belt change and whatnot, like to be able to see him go heel and slow shit down, and then to give everything. Like this almost feels like his retirement match. Like he's gone after this. But that was one of the best Cena performances, and he's old as shit now. Wrestling like he was in his 20s. That was really fucking respectable, and not only that, very entertaining, and definitely wowed everyone in person and watching on TV. The thank you Cena's. Wow. Oh, Brock Lesnar, are you fucking shitting me? There was rumors that we would see Brock at some point this year, but I don't think that we anticipated it being right now. Oh my God. Cowboy Brock Lesnar is back. He says, Sable, take a rain check. My farm animals can feed themselves. I am back. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And we always had the question with the scandal with Vince, right? Would we see Brock Lesnar in a ring ever again? And here he is. And he's another guy that I've kind of missed as well. I mean, there's only one Brock Lesnar. And come on, Pyro Guy. Pyro Guy fell asleep right there. He's like, oh, shit, hit the button. Pyro. Yeah, did you see the one shooting into the fans? Pyro Guy fell asleep. Man, I wonder how many people knew that Brock was coming out. I imagine only a couple. I imagine this was a Triple H tight-lipped type of thing. So what are we getting? We're going to get Cena and Brock in the next pay-per-view or PLE? Is that what we're getting? Is this just a one-time thing, or are we actually getting? Is Brock signed with the company? Is he actually going to wrestle? Are we going to see him week in and week out? Is it just once a month? Like, what are we going to get with Brock? I mean, he obviously was a limited wrestler anyways, for the most part, which made people like CM Punk mad and others mad that were full-time, and I get it. But again, when you are someone like Brock Lesnar, you're a one of one, someone that actually could have success in UFC. And, as far as intimidation, maybe the most intimidating wrestler of all time. Brock Lesnar. I was just about to say that. Wouldn't this have been better if Cena would have won? Right? But obviously they have something in store. There's always going to be a swerve or some kind of angle. Man, look at Brock. F5, goodbye. He says, I've been bailing hail for the last 2 years. I'm still in shape. I'm just a cowboy.
Let's be honest, Brock Lesnar was never coming down here to commiserate.
Brock Lesnar with no Paul Heyman, though, is a little odd. Brock Lesnar joins Seth and Paul. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Awesome PLE, 10 out of 10. But again, I feel like I have more questions now than answers. Brock comes back, which is cool. Cena goes face, but loses the belt. Cody now is champ, but is he fully heel? And who do we get in the future? You know, is it Cena and Brock? Obviously, with that move there, you would assume so, right? And then where do we go with Cody Rhodes? Wow, incredible. Yeah, I mean, like I said, maybe it will make more sense as we go through like Raw and SmackDown, and once we hit some of these other PLEs post SummerSlam. But wow, well, that was something. I'm hungry. I got to eat some dinner and spend some time with my pup. But I appreciate everyone that showed love: Zini, Sarah, Odin, and obviously, you know who you are, the OG Reefer. Appreciate you guys. Is there anything you want me to do photo-wise before I go? And then we'll have tomorrow off, and then I'll be back doing the Mariners on Tuesday night at 6:40. Gained a sub. All right, we good? Well, it was awesome being able to hang out, you know, since we don't get a chance to hang out that often, like once a month and whatnot. I hope you and your fam are good, and the kids and the wifey, you know, have fun, you know, watching Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and hopefully the next, you know, PLE we'll be able to run it back and do it again, and we'll be able to have some fun. Shout out to Reefer and Finley, Sarah, everyone in the building. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed that PLE as much as I did. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.